especially with the team struggling right now. To be honest, as bad as it is for Jazz Chisholm, I actually think it reflects worse on the manager, and I don't think it's his fault. But I just think by the nature of it, Boone looks like a goof. It looks like he doesn't have his locker room in order. It's not Boone's fault Chisholm doesn't know that rule, but it's not a good reflection when the team is off to the start that they're off to.
So some scenarios that might have confused him. So man on first, man on second, man on third, bases loaded, and I'm sorry, no, it would. However, so the ball goes down to goes up the center. The shortstop gets it, steps on the bag, throws it wide. The first baseman makes the catch, but is off the bag. The runner scores. He tags the guy at first. Is that a run? That's a run, right? Because it's got to be a force play at first base.
It's got to be a force at first,
right?
Yeah.
And because it was a tag, that'd be the only scenario where there'd be any confusion.
Well, no, you can still tag and it be a force.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, as long as you do it before he gets to the base.
As long as before he gets to the base.
Yeah.
So if you were to tag him, he rounds the base, starts going to second, and then tag him.
Correct.
The run would score there.
Yes.
So that would be the only confusion that there could be. Otherwise, if it's your traditional double play, it doesn't matter whether the runner gets to home or not, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a force play. It supersedes the run
I'm a radio
scoring
person who isn't an umpire.
I think it's wild that he claims he doesn't know that. And I don't know. It's weird. The way the Mets and Yankees have gotten off to a start this year, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to start watching the Knicks a lot more, I'll tell you that.
Well, with all of the money that's spent, it's just unbelievable. Okay, so we get through that. I think the Mets and Yankees have both lost 5 straight, Dave.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you want to give a little laugh out to the Mets for losing 5 in a row.
No.
No. Okay. Just checking. And the Mets just look terrible. Being swept at home
by the A's.
By the A's.
They don't have a home.
Yeah. Terrible.
Las Vegas.
All right. What else do we? And of course, the Masters. We'll stay a little with sports. That was very exciting. And it looked like the Irishman was falling to pieces going into Sunday.
I wanted him to fall to pieces.
And then made a comeback. You had a little parlay going.
Yeah, I did. I had Scheffler, Rory, and Rose to finish in the top 5, each one of them. And if I had put the bet in on Friday like I wanted to, I got scared because Scheffler had a terrible day.
Yeah, I think he was 74.
He was 12 strokes off the lead after Friday night.
Then he made up. Then he finished and he came back awesome on Saturday.
And then he was good yesterday too. Yeah. Although he had a little bit of up and down. I think he finished. Was it 1 stroke or 2? But for him to be down 12 and make that comeback all the way back, that was quite a run that he made. But obviously wasn't enough to get over the hump.
When Rory came to the 18th, Jeff, he was 13 under. Then he bogeyed the 18th, and Scotty was in the clubhouse already at 11.
Well, Scheffler could have won that.
Yeah,
I mean, and he struggled at the end.
Well, he had a chance to tie it up
on
the 17th, and he whiffed an iron. And
yeah. So it was not to be for some, and it was for
Rory is the only
Rory.
Rory's the 4th person in history to go back to back: Jack Nicklaus, Sir Nick Faldo, and Tiger Woods.
So all right. If you watch that too, by the way, it's like a painting. That course is always in the same condition. It looks like they're walking on carpets. It's like even the leaves on the trees are identical to what they were last year.
It is unbelievable. It's like
it is so well manicured.
It is very difficult to tell when you're looking at modern footage, high definition footage. It's very difficult to tell something that happened 3 years ago and something that happened this past weekend. It's really quite incredible.
I will say this though,
although the holes are in different places, you could really, if you really knew your stuff, you would know.
It's just such a beautiful course. I hate to say this though, but it's loaded with chemicals.
I'm sure it is.
Can you imagine what they put into that sod there to make it look exactly the same, and it's so tough and durable, and anyway, it looks like a painting.
Not a weed to be found. There's certainly chemicals. All right, and then and again, I'm sorry for those just tuning in on YouTube. You cannot start your car if you do not have your key fob. Well, you can use there's a little key thing. Well, the key thing's in the key fob. And I just realized that all of a sudden it turned into shorts weather, and I realized I have a few pair of shorts that don't hold things well in the pocket if you're sitting down. And luckily, apparently, I'm using my wife's keys now, but she was able to find them in the side of the couch. Nonetheless, here we go for a week. It'll be a week and a half for reasons we'll get into, but here we go. And then, of course, a week and a half over the weekend for the vice president trying to negotiate really a war that all the reports out there say he didn't want us to be in. He is, if the reports are true, J.D. Vance was not for going into Iran. And he was the one negotiating to try to end this thing. I don't know how you negotiated, and in the current scenario, because Iran is going to at this point want certain things. They do have leverage. Iran does have leverage. What is interesting is the next move after they fail over the weekend. The next move is we are setting up a blockade on the Strait of Hormuz to allow no vehicles to come through, or no boats to go through, or ships. So where does this go when one of those naval vessels, U.S. naval vessels, gets fired upon?
Yeah. So it seems like the move is to counter Iran's move of charging a toll. Now, it sounds like really Trump is conceding, we are conceding, that they can have control of the strait and they can charge tolls. Apparently, $2 million is too much of a toll, and it can't be.
Is that what we're getting this morning? That I thought there was to be no Iran would play no role in that.
No, I'm sorry, but that's how the U.S. Like, for instance, the 4 or 5 that went through Thursday and Friday, they had to pay a toll to get through, and Iran is only allowing certain ships through. Our counter to that is, okay, nobody gets through, so you basically can't charge a toll.
We're against that. No tolls. Yet it's how this has been operating up to this point. I hate to say, but we are right now. I understand. Listen, depending on what you watch for your news, but it may be different. But I can tell you, Iran has been decimated. Their navy has been decimated. Their air force has been decimated. Buildings and infrastructure decimated. But this is not a. This is a unique enemy, and their missiles, and they still exist. In fact, there was recently an accounting of everything that they have. They're probably, because they're getting stuff from Russia. Russia is certainly helping with intelligence. They're getting things from North Korea. They still have a stockpile of missiles and drones that can wreak havoc on the United States and Israel. And the other part that is concerning is the president said he doesn't care about the uranium. So we are really no further ahead than we were when this whole thing started. And in fact, we're further behind. We are now in the midst of war. So maybe J.D. Vance, if the reports are correct, was right in this whole thing. But he was unable to broker a deal because Iran is saying that obviously you have to be careful what Iran says because it's propaganda. And it's just in the same way, I'm sorry, that Hegseth is propaganda, the stuff that comes out of his mouth. But they say we're not going to give something back that we don't have to give, that wasn't won and taken from us. So. And they seem to be okay with more bombs and more destruction because this is a government that really doesn't care about its people. So we'll rebuild. They've been around for 2,500 years. We'll rebuild.
You talk about a unique opponent. They were calling for their citizens to go blanket essentially
shields.
their grids. Yeah, their
be a
grid
human
to
shield.
be a human shield.
So how do you combat against that? And it certainly is and this is the reason why is Hegseth called George Bush dumb, and all previous presidents. This is why they have not gone in to Iran, and they have monitored, and we've sent over the Air Force to bomb every once in a while to kind of set them back so they don't get a nuclear weapon. But this is why it has been managed that way. Because you get yourself, and maybe this is the long war that has to be fought to once and for all take care of Iran, but it doesn't look like we're willing to do that. It looks like President Trump is willing to walk away, and his quote is, "The uranium is so deep in the ground, I don't even care about that uranium." So we'll speak with Jonathan Savage to get the latest here this morning on J.D. Vance's trip and on where we are today. And, of course, the 10 a.m. is, I believe, Eastern time. 10 a.m. Eastern time is when the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz is supposed to be put into place.
That's correct.
And that will mean nothing will go through. As the president says, if it all can't go through, none of it can go through. So this is the next step in this game of chess. Pretty wild.
And our golden era gas prices continue, by the way.
I cannot believe, I got to tell you, if you're driving, this is where we're all going to get crushed. I understand you can curb your spending. Maybe you don't make those extra trips. Maybe you hold back a little bit and you don't drive as much as you normally do. Maybe you can't do that. But we're up over $4 a gallon for anybody who's paying with a credit card. You may have a membership price that gets you down just below $4. But did you see the price of diesel? It's almost $6. Yeah. And that is where we're getting our goods and materials that are needed for everyday life. And let me tell you, the increase in price of diesel fuel alone is going to cost all of us going forward here.
So the president was talking about, yesterday he did an interview with Fox. He was talking about the light sweet crude. We've got it. It's the best, very best. But the problem is that it upsets the market to the point that gas prices go up for everybody. So while the United States doesn't rely on the Iranian product per se,
our problem
pushes the market up.
Our problem is a pricing problem. It is not a supply problem.
Correct.
So, and that's kind of difficult to really understand. It's quite complex because normally it's supply and demand, right? If supply is good, your prices will be low. But based on what's going on around the world, that's what really is the measurement of the indicator as to where our prices will end up being. And right now, those diesel prices are up there. So when you're seeing that tractor-trailer go down the highway on the thruway or pull into a store with a shipment, it is costing them a lot more to bring that to the store. And as well, we all know that will mean higher prices inside the stores for any of that stuff that's being shipped. So we'll speak with Jonathan Savage on that coming up in a little bit. Let's see here. Comets. It's pretty much the end. They have one more home game, which will be next Friday. Your farewell to this Comets team. That'll be Friday night at the Adirondack Bank Center.
This Friday, right?
This Friday. Then they'll play Saturday, which will be their final game. I think at this point they might not be mathematically completely eliminated, but it would take a miracle in order to get them into a playoff spot. Okay, we're past the Masters. 2 weeks left in April, and all of a sudden it's May, and we're looking at a weather change. Another story you'll be looking at this week. We'll get up close to 70 degrees today, and then spend the rest of the week in the mid to upper 70s before things cool off again. Of course, for the weekend. Maybe it'll change by then. Maybe the warmth will stay around a little bit. I certainly hope. Manaski has a quick update on where we are.
I'm just double checking this here because I checked the standings. I know 4 teams in the North have qualified. A 5th team can qualify. Utica is 6 points behind Rochester. boy. They would have to win all three. Rochester would have to lose all three, and they would both have 71 points. But to be honest, I think Rochester's would still have more wins. Yeah, it might be over for Utica.
I'm going to ask you with an update.
Good morning, Bill. This news update is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. We have cloudy skies and already 52 degrees. The U.S. starts enforcing a blockade on Iranian ports starting at 10 this morning. The statement came hours after President Trump posted on Truth Social directing the U.S. military to, quote, clean out the Strait of Hormuz. The decision follows 21 hours of unsuccessful peace negotiations in Pakistan on Saturday. The Queen and King of the Netherlands will visit President Trump at the White House today. Willem-Alexander, that's the King, and Queen Maxima are on a 3-day working trip to the U.S. that also includes stops in Philadelphia and Miami. The Dutch royal couple is scheduled to attend dinner at the White House, where they will also spend the night. President Trump criticizing Pope Leo XIV on Truth Social, accusing him of being weak on crime and poor on foreign policy. The Pope, who is the first American to hold the position, has recently condemned Trump's decisions about Iran as unacceptable. In response, Trump posted an extended message attacking the Pope's views, arguing he's too permissive toward Iran's nuclear ambitions and too critical of U.S. actions abroad. California Representative Eric Swalwell is suspending his campaign for governor. Swalwell took to X on Sunday to say he was deeply sorry for mistakes in judgment that he's made in the past, adding that he will fight what he called a serious false allegation that's been made. This after a former staffer says she was raped by Swalwell.
Well, here's the problem he has. You have, I believe 4 or 5 women, the majority of them, I believe, former staffers, who all tell the same story. They went out with him. They were drinking, having a good time. Maybe they were accepting of the flirtation. Maybe they flirted back. But they all have the same problem. They don't remember how they ended up lying naked in his bed the next morning. They don't remember. You hear it from one. You hear it from 2. There's 3, 4, or 5 of them with the same story. That's like a Bill Cosby story. And he's going to have a tough time there.
It looks like school will be in session this week in the country's second largest school district. Los Angeles Unified announced Sunday morning the district and teachers union struck a tentative 2-year deal, possibly avoiding a strike that was set to start on Tuesday. So if they went on strike, they wouldn't have school?
That cannot happen in New York because of collective bargaining. But I believe it can happen in Los Angeles.
And this rarely happens.
Rarely. There was a case. It might have been Chicago or somewhere else. There was maybe it was L.A. I don't know. But the schools were shut down for over a week. Maybe it was 2 weeks. I forget the whole story. But it was because teachers went on strike.
And rarely happens here. But I've got 2 stories in this update about the Netherlands. First, the King and Queen coming to the White House. The Netherlands, now the first European country to approve Tesla's full self-driving, quote, supervised feature. Government officials say drivers must be in the vehicle and must monitor it closely while in FSD mode. Full self-driving, that is. Tesla CEO Elon Musk says he plans to expand the rollout of the feature to other European countries soon. Here's a look at your Weather Center forecast.
Mild weather continuing to kick into the area with a few scattered showers around today, most of them coming as we push on through this morning and into the afternoon. So about lunchtime, give or take. Breezy and near 70 today. Tonight, a few showers around early, then cloudy mid-50s. North Country into the 40s. Tomorrow, some scattered showers, maybe a few thunderstorms. Some morning fog, 75. Showers and thunderstorms possible also on Wednesday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, cloudy skies, 52 degrees at 6:47.
All right, let me go to Jonathan Savage from Fox News Radio with an update here this morning. Jonathan, let's start with the talks. The peace talks with J.D. Vance over the weekend. Good morning.
Yeah, hi there. Good morning. Yes, the peace talks took place on Saturday into the early hours of Sunday. They lasted 21 hours, absolute marathon of talks, but they didn't produce any kind of resolution. They didn't resolve 6 weeks of war, never mind 47 years of hostility between Iran and the United States. But they were the first time that we've had high-level individuals like this speaking directly since the 1979 Islamic Revolution in Iran. President Trump was brought on the phone several times, senior Iranian leadership too, but both sides left without agreement and immediately blamed each other. Vice President Vance saying that they need to see an affirmative commitment that Iran will not seek a nuclear weapon. He said that Iran is not giving up its right to enrichment. The Iranians accusing the U.S. of maximalism and shifting goalposts, pressure and coercion.
And then what did it look like over the weekend? It was in Israel at one point had some of their largest bombing activity in Lebanon. But what did the region look like?
Yeah, so the ceasefire is holding, involving Iran with the United States, Israel, and Iran's attacks on its neighbors. So that is holding. That's been in effect for almost a week, and it's just over a week to go until it needs to be renewed or will end. But in terms of Israel and Hezbollah, the Lebanon-based Iran-backed militia, Israel still refuses to halt its operation there, saying that is not part of the ceasefire. And over the weekend, there were several dozen deaths as Israel targeted Hezbollah operatives in the south of the country.
And then what are the thoughts on this blockade that the president is promising at 10 a.m. today Eastern time?
Yeah, President Trump said that there would be a full blockade of the Strait of Hormuz with no ships going back and forward. A bit of a change, though, when we get an update from Central Command, from the U.S. military, saying that this will be a naval blockade of Iranian ports. So it'll apply to all ships entering or leaving Iranian ports, not a full blockade on the Strait of Hormuz. That comes into effect in a little over 3 hours, but we still don't have much in the way of basic details about how it works, such as how many U.S. warships will enforce it, will there be surveillance planes used to will any Gulf allies help out? And we don't know what the U.S. military will do if a ship tries to break the blockade. And we don't, of course, know what Iran would do in response, although I'm sure people will be fearing right now the possibility of a direct confrontation at sea.
Yeah, I would say describing the scene as a tinderbox would be fair.
I think so. I think that it's absolutely precarious. Ever since the ceasefire came into place, it has felt somewhat fragile, and now we have the possibility of a new front opening up.
Jonathan Savage, Fox News, we appreciate it as always. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Quick break, and we'll come back.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Contractors and landscapers, be able to take on more jobs and get your current projects done with Warner Sales and Service. Whether it's the tough lifting and digging or the more precise work with attachments, Warner Sales and Service has the Bobcat rental to make sure your projects get done. Tough work demands tough equipment, so stop in today at Warner Sales and Service, just off Route 365 between Rome and Verona, and at WarnerSS.com.
Where quality still counts at Warner's.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Service. Family owned and operated since 1980, Tallman's is proud to provide trusted, professional auto care to our community. From brake repairs and New York State inspections to check engine light diagnostic to four-wheel alignments, Tallman's Tire and Auto Service accept all aftermarket warranties, and they specialize in fleet vehicles, accepting all fleet maintenance programs. When your vehicle needs attention, you can count on them to get you back on the road quickly and safely. Save time and money. Schedule your appointment today at tallmanstire.com.
Hi, Flo here from Progressive. You know, life changes quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, you mean like adding another vehicle?
Yes, that's something we can do.
Great, because I was thinking about getting a van so we could just keep the kids' softball stuff in the car.
Oh, we don't need to get into specifics. Just saying it's easy to change.
Oh, and Hannah wants to try the tuba.
Again, we don't need the specifics.
Last year, she wanted to be a tap dancer, but that only lasted 2 lessons.
Okay.
But she kept the shoes because they are adorable.
Well, just know that with Progressive, you can easily add another car to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Hey, portions of the program brought to you by Steve Ponte Mazda. Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Right now, Steve Ponte Mazda is winding down their New Year, New Mazda sales event this month. They now, I think I had said they were like 57 just a few weeks ago. 57 of the CX-5s in stock. They're now down to 23 CX-5s in stock right now. Take advantage. This is a beautiful car. You can take advantage of 1.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-5s with a 0.9% on the turbo models. See the dealership for details. But again, look it up. The CX-5 is a great car, and you can check it out with a great price at Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. As Rick says, come in, let's make your deal on a new Mazda where it's always easy to do business. Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Okay, it's Monday morning. Davey will do Habaika's free money question of the day. Start the week off with what are we running with here this morning? What do you have?
This is a big week for me, you know.
What is the week?
I'm playing in the annual wheelchair basketball game.
You are.
My first time ever as a participant.
So I play in this every year, and this year I am out of town for reasons that we'll talk about later in the week. And Davey is my replacement.
Well, I don't know if that's actually correct. I believe J.J. Starling said he couldn't come, and they said we've got to get Uncle Smitty involved.
We're getting Davey. Yeah,
I say that
they got
obviously.
Roosevelt, Bowie, and Brandon Trish.
Yes, that's more
all
accurate.
right. No, that's pretty cool.
Yes,
you know. So you'll be a part of that with them, and that's awesome. So we will speak with Mark DePerno coming up later on this morning.
And I will have my fan club with me.
Yes, so you will.
Yes.
You got a full fan club coming.
Oh, about 5 people.
Good. All right. That's really good.
That's
I love
good.
it.
It's bigger than my fan club.
The free money question this morning is worth how much?
$185.
$185. We'll do that coming up in a few minutes. 7:35. Time flies pretty quickly. Steve Cully in this morning, and he's, for those that don't know, sports guy. Spent time playing, and you were playing in NFL Europe at one point. Is that right?
Yes, sir, Bill. You got it correct.
And then, Davey, come and help him with that, Mike, if you could.
It's good. It's all good.
Okay, good.
There you go.
I'm a pro.
You seem to have to bend down to get to it, though.
No,
just be careful. Yeah, don't grab that part.
These are my favorite microphones.
Yeah, they're not mine.
6'5"?
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, also coached and several college programs, and is in here this morning. I did not know that you're telling me that there is an NIL program starting up for the Utica Pioneers football.
Yes.
And I didn't know that could be something that I thought that was only reserved for Division I, but it's not.
No, you can have NIL programs at any division, and they're being started all over the country.
Yeah.
Because there's so much competition out there. I mean, you look just yesterday, 8 women, the entire women's basketball team at University of Tennessee entered the transfer portal.
Wow.
And it's all a cash grab. It's all who's going to pay me the most. So it's trickling down even to the Division III level where they're trying to get one going.
Yeah.
And my best friend.
This was all so. I mean, you couldn't show up at an American Legion and get a little something on the side for it as a college athlete before all of this. And look at they took wins away from Boeheim because of these allegations that are completely legal today.
Yes. And
tilt the arm up for me, could you? Yeah, there you go. Then tilt down from there. Then I'm okay.
The NCAA would investigate you for a pencil.
Yeah.
That's how strict they were.
Yes.
Now they have zero power.
You can do whatever you want now. Well, maybe not whatever you want, but you can raise money.
My good friend, best friend, Dominic Tripp, he's from high school, former Utica player. He was asked and tasked with the job of starting an NIL program. And I have experience with it because I worked with UConn and our guy, Mike Burton, who headed up our NIL program. So I'm connecting them, how to get it going, how to get it started. There's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
So
a lot of rules that have to be followed.
Not so much that.
Wow.
Just like, for instance, we started initially as a 501c, as a nonprofit. That way the donations were tax exempt.
Right. Okay.
And that's something that he can do. Then it doesn't have to be a for-profit
That's
organization.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
And then who gets to decide where the money gets spent? Is that handed over to the university and the coaches decide?
Normally the person works hand in hand with the. Now these schools have general managers.
Right.
But yeah, they would work.
That's it. And I think most schools are now hiring GMs now.
Yeah, Carmelo Anthony is the GM at Syracuse now.
He is. I did not know that. That puts it all together.
He came ready to play.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you, I think that's a smart move.
Great move.
Yeah.
Great move. Because if you send Carmelo Anthony into any recruit's house, say, hey, we want you at Syracuse, I think they're going to say yes.
Yeah. Well, at the very least, you're going to pay attention.
Exactly.
Right? So that's pretty cool.
A lot of car commercials to cut, right?
Yeah, right.
Everybody does the car commercial. I know Syracuse has got a couple on the men's and women's team typically. Yes. But I mean, I think you're going to see it.
Well, I think I saw another business got Syracuse football or Syracuse basketball. And I'm wondering if that's exclusive. It depends on what they do, or if anybody can, if Nye can have it and another business. But if you remember, at one point when Syracuse men's basketball was playing so poorly, Nye went to the women, and it was the women doing the commercials.
Yes.
And then the men weren't. And all of a sudden, I saw the men on another business. And I wonder if it's, we'll see. I wonder if it's market exclusive. I don't know.
So are we going to be seeing, when does this go to junior colleges? Is it going to be like, hi, I'm Cam Johnson from MVCC. Have you ever tried a breakfast sandwich from Burned Dairy?
Well, junior.
Hold on, I got a break. We'll talk more about it coming up. Hold tight. News is next.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
3 hours to go. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Before President Trump's new blockade on Iran in the Strait of Hormuz, after weekend talks with Iran fizzled. He told reporters last night flying back to Washington it won't affect the U.S.
We have more oil because of Drill Baby Drill. We have more oil than Russia and Saudi Arabia put together.
U.S. Central Command giving some new details on the blockade, saying the blockade will be enforced impartially against vessels of all nations entering or departing Iranian ports and coastal areas.
That's Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv.
Now, the Strait of Hormuz remains a critical waterway, and the Iranian military today is warning that no Gulf ports will be safe if their own ports are threatened.
Oil prices back on the rise today, almost 8%, putting WTI back at $104 a barrel. The president also last night
lashed out at Pope Leo, saying he's not a fan.
He's a very liberal person, and he's a man that doesn't believe in stopping crime.
And the Pope reacted this morning, talking to reporters before landing in Algeria to start an 11-day trip to Africa.
I will continue to speak out loud against war, looking to promote peace.
After a Truth Social post in which President Trump said Leo was catering to the radical left, calling the pontiff weak on crime and terrible for foreign policy. The president wrote he doesn't want a pope who thinks it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon. The Pope hasn't ever said that, but he has criticised leaders who wage war, also describing as truly unacceptable the president's warning that an entire civilization could die.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. A Democrat's dropping out of the race for governor in California, Congressman Eric Swalwell.
After several women accused him of sexual misconduct and one woman alleged he raped her, Congressman Swalwell posted on X, "I will fight the serious false allegations that have been made, but that's my fight, not a campaign."
Fox's Jill Nato. Democrats and Republicans have called on Swalwell to leave Congress. America's listening to Fox News.
Born on America's darkest day, 9/11/01, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been helping American heroes ever since. Heroes like FDNY Lieutenant Edward J. McDonough Jr. McDonough served at Ground Zero. He later lost his life to a related cancer. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation was able to honor his sacrifice by paying off the family's mortgage. Donate $11 a month, and you can amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Just go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
Life is full of challenges, but you don't have to face them alone. At intouch.org, you'll find powerful sermons from Dr. Charles Stanley, daily devotionals, and resources designed to strengthen your faith and bring hope into your everyday life. Whether you're searching for encouragement, biblical wisdom, or practical guidance, intouch.org is here to help you grow closer to God. Discover truth that speaks to your heart. Visit intouch.org today. Thanks.
To those of you who haven't filed tax returns yet, the IRS deadline is looming Wednesday. And with the average tax refund this year about 11% higher than 2025, President Trump will hit the road this week to tout that.
President Trump travels to Arizona and Nevada later this week to highlight his administration's tax and economic policies, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says. With polling showing the president's approval on the economy slipping, both the White House and Republicans are touting policies in the One Big Beautiful Bill that eliminated taxes on tips and overtime. In Arizona, President Trump is expected to attend a Turning Point USA rally and campaign for Republicans in the state. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stocks may drop to start the week. Dow futures down more than 200 points after big gains in the market last week. In golf, Rory McIlroy is a master again.
After letting a 6-stroke lead slip away on Saturday with a 73, Rory McIlroy fell back to 4th place early Sunday. But after bogeying the 6th hole to go 2 over on his round, he righted the ship and shot 3 under the rest of the way.
Rory is a rare repeat winner at Augusta.
Courtesy CBS, McIlroy finished 1 stroke ahead of world number 1 Scotty Scheffler, who didn't card a single bogey on the weekend. He joins Tiger Woods, Nick Faldo, and Jack Nicklaus as the only back-to-back Masters champions. It's his 6th career major, matching Faldo for the most by a European in the modern era. I'm Tim McMaster, Fox News.
The NBA regular season ended last night. The playoffs start tomorrow with the play-in tournament that'll set the 7 and 8 seeds in both conferences. On the NASCAR track, Ty Gibbs won his first Cup Series race at Bristol and made his grandfather proud, winning for the racing team led by Joe Gibbs, who's the only person in both the NASCAR and Pro Football Halls of Fame. In the NFL, Joe Gibbs won 3 Super Bowls as Washington's coach. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Cloudy skies, 52 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time 7:05. This news update is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office was dispatched to an address in the town of Kirkland after reports of a threat at Clinton Middle School. Deputies began investigating, and due to the nature of the complaint, the Sheriff's Office Juvenile Aid Unit, along with the Criminal Investigation Unit, were assigned. Now, this threat occurred at approximately 1:40 in the morning Saturday. At this point in the investigation, there's no ongoing threat to the public or students at the Clinton Central School District. The sheriff's office says the investigation remains open and an update will be provided at a future date. A 57-year-old Utica man facing weapons charges after UPD responded to a shots fired incident on the 1400 block of Oneida Street. It happened about 9:15 on Sunday morning. They positively identified and detained the suspect who fired the rounds. He's identified as 57-year-old Joseph Fields of Utica, charged with multiple counts of criminal possession of a weapon, attempted assault in the first degree, and reckless endangerment. An Ilion firefighter and paramedic was killed in a one-vehicle crash in Richfield Friday night. It happened on Highway 22. State police say 29-year-old Ashley Faubert of Ilion was traveling south on 22 when she left the roadway and struck a tree. She was taken by ambulance to Bassett Healthcare in Cooperstown, where she was pronounced dead. She had been with the Ilion Fire Department since 2023. New Hartford police arresting 3 people after an investigation into multiple retail larcenies that occurred at the Lowe's on Middle Settlement Road. After reviewing surveillance footage, there were several incidents that occurred between March 18th and March 24th. Approximately $1,100 worth of merchandise was stolen. They've now arrested and charged 62-year-old William Miller with grand larceny, 60-year-old Warren Jones with petty larceny, and 47-year-old Lauren Lopez with criminal possession of stolen property in the 5th degree. Now, New Hartford police also say they will continue to collaborate closely with loss prevention partners through a coalition designed to address all forms of retail theft, especially coordinated, organized theft rings and illegal pawn operations. And a reminder again about ticks. Unfortunately, as the weather gets nice, we immediately have this threat, and Central New York residents being warned about the dangers of ticks. Experts say that tick encounters are already up 70% compared to the same time a year ago. Tick bites can cause serious health issues in both humans and animals, including Lyme disease. Also, pet owners are recommended to get their four-legged friends properly protected against ticks. Anyone who is bitten by a tick should safely remove it and send it to a lab for testing. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 7:08. Here's a look at your Weather Center forecast.
Mild weather continuing to kick into the area with a few scattered showers around today, most of them coming as we push on through this morning and into the afternoon. So about lunchtime, give or take. Breezy and near 70 today. Tonight, a few showers around early, then cloudy mid-50s. North Country into the 40s. Tomorrow, some scattered showers, maybe a few thunderstorms. Some morning fog, 75. Showers and thunderstorms possible also on Wednesday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Cloudy skies, 52 degrees at 7:09. All right, in sports at the Masters, Rory McIlroy gets back-to-back green jackets. You know, I had to laugh. I listened to Mike Francesa. You know, I don't do podcasts. I'm not a podcast guy. Okay. Well, now he's got a podcast. He's had it for a while. And he said, he was talking about his picks. You know, he always does picks for tournaments and stuff. And he goes, now Rory, you could take Rory right out of the equation. It took him forever to win one. And I won it last year. There's no chance he's winning them back-to-back. And sure, in tank mush fashion, Francesa incorrectly called the winner. Rory gets 2 green jackets. Scheffler made a heck of a run. He was 12 shots back Friday night, but he finishes just a stroke behind. He took second place. Hatton, Henley, Rose, and Cam Young all finished third at 10 under par. The NBA regular season wrapped up.
Before you move on, do you want to hear Sergio's...
Oh, this was good.
Meltdown.
You know, as a Tiger fan, I almost feel like by default you kind of have to root against Sergio. Watching him throw this fit and break his driver was
so
enjoyable.
He didn't like his drive on the second hole of the Masters yesterday. Immediately smashed his driver into the ground a couple of times, then swung it into the green tee box. That bent the shaft near the end. He tore it off. Here's the tantrum, then reporters asking about it, and the fact that he got a code of conduct warning along with it. Here's audio.
40 yards.
Frustrated Sergio, he hits the ground, and then not only did he take it out on the tee box, but that driver is done for the day.
It happens.
What did they tell you on the 4th hole?
I'm not going to tell you.
Did they give you a warning or something on the 4th?
Nice question, please.
Yeah, he wouldn't get into it. Now, I got to tell you.
What they said, this is a picturesque, this is the holy grail, the mecca of golf. Please don't destroy the tee box.
Yeah.
Jerk.
So I got to tell you that I was telling my wife, and he destroyed his driver. He hit his driver. And my wife's answer to that was, well, he should be arrested for that. I mean, is the guy okay?
That's funny. I did hear the guy on commentary said, "Oh, well, that driver's done for the day." Please, you know how they have these garbage cans now? There's like 3 receptacles there.
Yes,
it's like trash, recyclables, and I don't know what the other one is. But he could have just dropped that in a recycle bin. That driver was not coming back today, tomorrow, next week, next month.
Yeah,
he wasn't going to use that again. All right, NBA regular season wrapped up yesterday. The Nets lose again, another blowout, 136-101. They have the 3rd worst record in the league. The NBA draft lottery is May 10th. The Knicks wrap up with a loss, 110-96 against Charlotte, but the Knicks do have the 3rd best record in the East. They'll play Atlanta in the first round. The play-in tournament gets underway tomorrow. Several matchups there. I want to mention in football, the Eagles got Dontavion Wicks from the Packers. Many are saying that deal helps set up a possible trade of A.J. Brown out of Philadelphia. And in baseball, the Mets swept by the A's. The Yankees dropped their 5th straight as well. 5 straight losses for the Mets. Shut out twice in a 3-game series against the horrible A's. And the Yankees have lost 5 straight as well. Cam Schlittler took the loss. While Freddie Peralta took the loss for the Mets, he did pitch well. He only gave up a solo home run. That was it.
Yeah.
4 hits and a solo shot.
There's no offense right now. Brutal.
I do not like Lindor in the leadoff. I'm telling you.
Well, and here's Lindor's another thing. He's had like 4 or 5 mental hiccups that are unexplainable, and that's not him. I don't know what's going on there. A couple of things. Comment on Trump and the Pope. This is listen. I know. Well, that's Trump. It's Trump being Trump. He's now going after the Pope, calling him weak. I mean, like. I don't know. His go-to is very low IQ, not a smart guy, really weak. You're talking about the freaking Pope. I mean, is there any limit? Is there any?
He's
weak
on crime. Weak on crime.
Any boundaries at all? Well, the Pope has said a lot of bad things about Trump. The Pope has said what popes say. They don't like war. They don't. I mean, I don't think that we should be overly upset with the comments by the Pope. The teachings of Jesus would be you don't deport these illegals. Maybe the ones who are rapists and murderers, you send them to prison or whatever. But those who are farm workers, you don't deport them. You treat them like they're your neighbor. That's the teaching of Jesus. So the Pope's not going off on a limb here. It's all in the Bible, for God's sakes. So I don't understand this. I mean, aren't there enough? Doesn't he have enough enemies? There comes that certain point where when your enemies start to go over that 50% mark and you're up into the 60s and creeping towards the 70s, you can't win that. You just can't win that. But maybe, I don't know.
He's a weak man. We're going
low
to
IQ.
obliterate the Vatican.
You got to include the low IQ. I'm not getting
total
into it further.
destruction.
And Mike, Trump did float the idea of having a toll that would be split between the U.S. and Iran. That was unbelievable when he talked about that. Like, so
that's what I mean. I feel like we're conceding
this is unbelievable.
The Strait to
Correct.
Iran.
That's exactly right. So we are worse off,
right,
in that scenario.
They didn't control it before we went in.
Correct. Netanyahu has tried to lure many U.S. presidents into a war with Iran. He's finally found one to do it. And then on the NIL, I think this is interesting, and this is where I'll bring you in, Cully. The difficulties is to raise the NIL money year after year. And I wonder if this NIL reduces contributions to the colleges to support scholarships and other non-athletic programs. That, to me, not to mention, if you're in a community like Syracuse and you're going to big donors in Syracuse for money, and you know, the American Red Cross goes to them, and the Upstate Medical goes to them. And, you know, sooner or later, there's going to come a point where the very wealthy person who has all this money that he's giving to good causes is going to say, well, the problem is I just gave $10 million to SU's athletic program, so I have to, you know, there's only so much I can give this year. so I'm going to pull back some of my funding for scholarships, some of my funding for the Red Cross or whatever. Kind of wonder, what are your thoughts?
So, to give you an example, Rutgers University.
Yes.
They're $78 million in the hole, in the red, the athletic department.
And that is because keeping the money flowing year after year.
Well, because at the Division I level, not only do you have NIL, you have revenue sharing, which means the schools can pay the players directly. There's a $20 million cap, but it's for the entire athletic department.
Now, so it can go to the volleyball players.
Well, most schools use about $15 million on football alone.
Yeah.
So the majority of it goes to football. They overspend because the NCAA can't regulate the so-called salary cap.
Mm-hmm.
So Rutgers spent more. They ended up, and this is a team that gets between $40 and $60 million from the Big Ten in their television deal. And they still went over.
And they're still, wow.
So what they did was they raised tuition and they raised student fees. And parents went ballistic over it because they said, I paid for my kid to go get an education at Rutgers.
You're not paying for the
I'm not paying for the
program.
football program.
Yeah. The football program was always the program that brought in students.
Yes.
And it generates revenue for the schools. But now all of a sudden you're spending a lot of money on that program. I don't know where this goes. I mean, this could break the whole. Actually, there have been people in the Trump administration when they were getting into this whole thing saying this could break the entire system, collegiate system.
It's going to implode.
Not just for athletics, but the schools themselves could go broke.
I do think there's. Obviously, the old format has been completely destroyed, obliterated. But the good part of this, I think, is there was so much money in the sport. While I think it's a little odd, and I think some of the money's out of whack, I do prefer that the players get it than some stiff suit, right?
Well, I understand, but when you're overspending to the point, that's where all of a sudden, that's where the GM comes in. Why you need a GM to be able to manage the money properly. You need money managers now. You got to have somebody who's really good at handling a multi-million-dollar budget and is going to have to make tough decisions that maybe your coach and your athletic department might not like, but otherwise, if you don't, you're going to end up like Rutgers.
Yeah, and Jeff, I mean, it's just gotten crazy, out of control. There was an article in The Athletic last week that said right now, if you want to be a good team in the SEC, the average amount of money you need to spend on a roster is $40 million.
On a roster.
On a football. On a football roster.
On a football roster. Wow.
$40 million they're spending.
Well, they got to get spending on, there's a lot of talk about basketball in Syracuse right now. Well, they better start spending money on the football program.
Well, because it's 50,000 people that can go to the Dome.
Right. Yeah. And then how about they think Kentucky, this is from Mike, spent over $20 million
on basketball
in NIL money for their basketball program alone. Yeah. With one player who received $9 million. And
they're going after Donnie Freeman.
I have to say, some of these guys make more than NBA players.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's why you're seeing guys get 6 years of eligibility.
That's the imbalance, I think, that threatens to blow up the system. If it's a step program where, like, you make whatever, a few $100,000 in college, then you get the millions in the pros. But we've almost flipped it, where you could stay in college, not take classes, and get paid $9 million. Where if you got drafted by a team, you'd make $1.2 million or something.
Under this system, Carmelo Anthony might not have stayed in Syracuse, but he might not have gone into the NBA after his freshman year.
Right.
Think about it.
Oh, for sure.
All right, interesting stuff. We'll see where it all goes. Coming up, speaking of sports, we'll bring in Mark DePerno coming up. And Citron Healthcare and the wheelchair basketball game, which a rarity for me in the last 15 years. I will miss on this Thursday night, but it's going to be great. And my man Davey is stepping in quickly before we break.
Matt and Holland Patton. I'm not a fan of Trump or the Pope. I do feel, however, they need to keep the two separated. Let politics be politics and religion be religion, if that makes any sense. I think it does, and I think I agree with Matt.
I completely disagree. You're the Pope. There's a history of politics, and if you are the Pope and you feel that there is a nation that is treating an entire population poorly, think of the nations that they have to, that this happens on a regular basis in third world countries. If you're that pope at that time, it is, I think it's appropriate to speak out.
We're bombing military facilities. They're executing their citizens, and he's criticizing the United States. He didn't say much about Iran and what they're doing.
I'm not going to get into an argument over whether or not the Pope is correct in his comments. I'm telling you that for the Pope to make a political comment, that is not abnormal. That's all I'm saying. You can debate the rest of it and figure out whether you like what he said or didn't, but I'm simply saying I don't agree that it's abnormal. And listen, it's very difficult to keep politics, and we all talk about it, right? Don't talk about politics, don't talk about religion. To keep them separate, good luck with that, because it just doesn't happen. Because if that's the case, then the evangelicals need to butt out of the Trump campaign, because they're the ones that really put him into office, right? So it's not just Catholics defending the Catholics today. I'm not even Catholic. Quick break. It's 7:22 at WIBX.
AmeriQ Credit Union's rewards and high-rate checking accounts are worth celebrating. Open an AmeriQ high-rate checking and earn an unprecedented rate on the first $10,000 in your account. Or open an AmeriQ Rewards checking account and earn cash back, travel, and more with every grocery visit, every swipe, and everyone you know. Discover checking accounts worth celebrating and open an account today at ameriq.org/checking. AmeriQ and you. Let's connect. Insured by NCUA.
At Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield, we are dedicated to helping you understand your benefits and how to use them. It's one of the reasons why, for the third straight year, we have been named #1 in customer satisfaction among Medicare Advantage plans in New York and #1 for ease of doing business by J.D. Power. We were named most trusted, too. We remain committed to giving you high-quality coverage and the best possible Medicare experience. Learn more at medicare.excellusbcbs.com. For J.D. Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Get pumped for summer. Receive an instant rebate of up to $20,000 in clean heat ground source heat pump installation. Call City Suburban today, 315-853-3899, or online at citysuburban.com. That's citysuburban.com.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar, 315-444-4444.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Our Senator Kirsten Gillibrand and Representative John Mannion are standing up for radio listeners like us by supporting legislation to keep AM radio in cars. They know the value of local radio in times of emergency. Now it's time for Congress to finish the job and pass the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act. Learn more at dependonam.com. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
If you're looking for smart, balanced talk to wrap up your day, tune in to The Guy Benson Show. Weeknights at 7, we'll break down the biggest stories in politics, culture, and the media with sharp analysis, lively interviews, and a dose of humor. From Capitol Hill to the day's hottest headlines, we bring you the facts and the conversation behind them. If you miss it during the week, catch the weekend edition Sunday afternoon starting at 1. That's The Guy Benson Show, weeknights at 7 and Sundays at 1 on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Okay, listen, it's, let's see. What is it? For you, it's the Masters, right? The Masters, actually, for you now, it's when you start getting games to umpire.
Yeah.
Spring is here.
Yeah.
And then the Masters comes. Baseball starts. Spring is here. And then the wheelchair basketball comes.
Oh.
See where I'm going?
Yes. You know what I thought you were going to say, and I'll just
Spring is
quickly
here.
throw this in. I have
Yeah.
a dying tree in my backyard. It's pretty large, and it sheds branches, of course, with the heavy wet snow in the winter. And then we got a windstorm last week, and it took a couple more down. So I had to scurry to get all the branches out because we're going to be in the 70s with rain this week. So the grass is going to be growing like a weed.
Right.
Probably by the end of the week, I think
we may see some green grass by the end of the week,
including myself, might be mowing before we get to next Sunday.
Possible, yeah.
But you mentioned the wheelchair basketball
goats.
game.
We bought goats. We got a whole herd of goats. Is that a herd? A herd of goats? I think so. We just put them out there.
Flock of goats?
No, they crap all over the place. It's terrible, but man, do they chew up the lawn. They do
group
really
of
well.
Goats?
I believe it's a herd. A goat herder, sheep herder, right? Talking about biblical times. In studio right now, who did not really expect to be talking about goats this morning, is Mark DePerno.
Yes, sir.
And Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Good to be here.
It is that. So it's these little elements that that bring us into springtime, and this is one of those. And I feel terrible that I won't be participating this year because I enjoy making a fool of myself.
You've done that very well for the last 15 years, by the way. And we're going to miss you.
Yeah, I have. And you've had an interesting, the NIL is just changing everything. It used to be so simple. Now, the NIL has made it better because you can get current players.
That's right.
However, it's made it worse because you get the current players and then they've decided they're going elsewhere.
It's extremely difficult, as you mentioned, the last several years in particular. We've had athletes from Syracuse University from the beginning, 22 years now, starting back with Pearl Washington, Jerry McNamara, etc. The last couple of years, Bill, we've had names that would arise in January, that would change in February, change 3 times in March. Finally, April, you don't know who you're getting. This year, we've gone through that process again, and what was J.J. Starling initially has now transitioned to Roosevelt Bowie and Brandon Trish, 2 phenomenal former Syracuse basketball players. But the process is difficult.
Yeah. And I hate to say, you want, kids really want that current star player. But, man, Syracuse basketball has been in such disarray, it's been very difficult. Yeah. But this year, you got a whole host of locals, and of course the basketball, and Aaron Hamlin has played over the years, and et cetera, et cetera. So.
We always get a great, I'll call them cast of characters, Lucy, but honestly, the amazing local elected officials, radio, television personalities, local business owners, and of course Syracuse University representation, all playing against the Citron Stars wheelchair basketball team. The Stars program, of course, is a local program that benefits athletes with disabilities. The dollars raised from this event will help us purchase specialized equipment, wheelchairs, afford the opportunities for these athletes to train abroad, to compete abroad, or train locally. And we've seen lives changed because of fundraising events like this.
Jimmy Joseph is always the one that comes to mind because he's just handled everything so well. But if it wasn't for Citron, he wouldn't be where he is today.
And he said those words directly many times to me. Jimmy went through a traumatic injury back in his youth. And
by the way, that injury he's talked about it on the air, so we can talk about it. He was a trash person collecting the garbage truck.
Yeah.
And a vehicle, when he was behind, came right behind, and he lost both legs.
Lost both legs is correct.
Could have lost his entire life.
Yeah, and with sports, with the opportunity, he has traveled the world, a 4-time Paralympian. He's won multiple medals at the World Championship stage with curling. He's competed in the Boilermakers on marathons, et cetera, et cetera. It's one example of many. Herman Garrick, Jason Robinson, the names go on. And, for me, I just had a small part of that in terms of helping them identify what sport might help them, kind of transition and overcome that adversity. We can't do it without the benefit of our community members, the support of yourself and others, raising those dollars and changing lives.
Yeah. All right. What's new this year? Let's go through it's this Thursday.
It's this Thursday, Utica University, 6:30 p.m. Basically, it's 20 local athletes, the celebrity cruisers as we call them, competing against the Citron Stars. That includes, as you mentioned, Aaron Hamlin, Senator Griffo, Oneida County Executive Picenti, Assemblywoman Buttonshaw, Assemblymember Miller, Sheriff Mayshul, many other local business owners, other personalities on the air and television. And many have done it year after year like yourself, Bill, and they love coming back.
Yeah,
it's a great,
it's great.
enjoyable game. For the community members, they're often going to see basketball in a wheelchair for the first time. Others come back every year. It's a 40-minute game. We break every 5 minutes for the athletes to rotate, get a good experience, and, again, raise those dollars to afford those opportunities.
I realize it would be maybe a bit of a liability, but everyone should know what it feels like to get into a wheelchair and try to score a basket, or to just maneuver and have a ball in your hand, or try to, try dribbling or what. It's a whole different world. And then you see the Citron Stars and how they're just phenomenal. It's so incredible what it's a great lesson. I think.
You don't understand until you've been in that situation.
Yeah.
Thankfully, many of us have not had to for obvious reasons. But for those who have, you adapt, you overcome, you persevere using different muscles, obviously, different balance, coordination techniques. As you mentioned, you'll see athletes dribbling behind their back in a wheelchair, making three-pointers, half-court shots for that matter. And that's what they do. Like you and I, if given a situation we'd like to think we'd overcome with opportunity, but they've taken it to the highest level.
Yeah, they really have. And then talk a little more, if you could, about what is done at Citron, because they're a wide array of services.
Yeah, so from an adaptive sports program, it's helping athletes compete in the Boilermaker, the Falling Leaves Road Race, local races, and those at a distance. Curling at the Utica Curling Club, offsetting those fees and those due expenses and traveling expenses. We've helped athletes compete in the world of kayak and canoe, cross-country skiing, biathlon, archery, to name a few. And again, outside of adaptive sports, not everybody wants to play sports. We understand that. But if there's an opportunity, if you want to, just rehabilitating, getting yourself back to a quality of life that maybe you once had but lost because of an injury, an ailment, and an illness. Comprehensive rehabilitation, recreational activities. We try to offer everything from, the pediatrics to geriatrics and all those needs in between. Citron Healthcare, citron.com. You'll find all our services as well as information on the basketball game at citron.com.
All right. Admission on Thursday?
Just $10, right?
$10 for adults, $5 for students of any age. That's college all the way down to, 5 years and older. And anybody who's under the age of 5, bring the family. They're free of charge, of course. Come on out, watch a little basketball. We have great silent auction memorabilia from our folks at Cooperstown Connection, refreshments, 50/50, etc. Just a good, fun, relatively cheap night out, Utica University, Thursday night.
All right.
And autographs are free. You get to meet a couple SU legends, Brandon Trish, Roosevelt Bowie, and our man Uncle Smitty.
Davey, you have a question?
Yeah.
Hold on. What is your question?
I would like to know why I'm not on this list, the celebrity list.
All right.
How did I get left off?
Well, this would be a good. You lost a leg. This would be a good place to rehabilitate.
Yeah, there we go. Yes.
Yeah. Until you do, then you're not going to be on the list. Sorry. All right. So I've lost my train of thought.
Thursday night, Utica University, Clark Athletic Center.
What I was going to say though is every year that I've done it, I'm usually you're going home. You're coming in shorts, and you're going home in shorts. And let me tell you, just because it's April does not mean you're leaving in warm weather. Some of these years have been pretty cold, and I do not know that I remember a year where it's going to be probably at 6 o'clock about 78 degrees. And that's what we're calling for Thursday. So you're going to have warm weather outside for this event. So
making it more difficult for the celebrities in particular. But yes, warm day, warm evening in particular. Again, I got to mention tickets at citron.com. Tickets are available at the door, $10 for adults. Call us at Citron 797-3000 for more information.
All right, Mark, we love it. It's a great event.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Quick break. We'll do Homebikers free money question of the day. You want to get into it right now, Davey? What caller number are you looking for? What do you
Caller
want?
6.
6th caller right now. It's worth $185. Great question, which I really, it's like patting myself on the back every day. Every day, it's another great question. This one is doable and great. We'll do it next. Caller number 6, 315-736-0186.
Get a smile for every season at Rosansky Family Dentistry. For crowns to veneers, we'll keep you smiling all year long. We're also excited to welcome Dr. Kutaria to our team. With her arrival, we now offer Friday appointments from 8 a.m. to noon, giving you more flexibility for the care you need. Call us today at 315-732-1981 to schedule your visit. That's Rosansky Family Dentistry, 1 Paris Road, New Hartford. Find us on Facebook or online at uticasmiles.com.
At Wheelock Disposal Service, we're not just in the garbage business. We're in the people business.
Hi, I've been a Wheelock Disposal customer for over 10 years, and that says a lot. I wouldn't trust anyone else. They're always on time and polite when picking up my weekly trash and recycling. And whenever I need a dumpster or a special pickup, the office staff makes it quick and easy. I couldn't be happier with Wheelock Disposal.
As a family-owned company serving Herkimer and Oneida counties, we take pride in keeping our neighborhoods clean, safe, and welcoming. Whether you're cleaning out the garage, renovating your home, or tackling a big project, our team is ready with the right dumpster, a helping hand, and a smile. We even pick up the stray trash others leave behind. We wave to your kids. We honk the horn. Why? Because we're your neighbors. Call 315-822-3427 or visit wheelockdisposal.com to join the Wheelock family today. Wheelock Disposal Service. We love garbage, and we love our community even more.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Service. Family owned and operated since 1980, Tallman's is proud to provide trusted professional auto care to our community. From brake repairs and New York State inspections to check engine light diagnostic to four-wheel alignments, Tallman's Tire and Auto Service accept all aftermarket warranties, and they specialize in fleet vehicles, accepting all fleet maintenance programs. When your vehicle needs attention, you can count on them to get you back on the road quickly and safely. Save time and money. Schedule your appointment today at tallmanstire.com.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Hey, I want to tell you about Insera's Flooring Outlet. And they are a business, a local business that's been around for a long time. And it's all about customer service. But I also feel knowledge of product is a big deal as well. For instance, Jason, Alan, and Fran, some of Insera's flooring specialists, they have over 100 years combined flooring experience. They know what they're doing. Sam Rudolph, Insera's store manager, has been in the home improvement industry his entire life. And then there's Sal and Sarah, talking about experience. He knows the flooring business. You're dealing with flooring experts who know flooring. Why would you go anywhere else? All the experience, plus Insera offers the top name brands in flooring covering at unbeatable prices. And because of their buying power and their inventory, there are so many different products to choose from. It's incredible. You're working with folks that have been in the flooring business for decades. They really know the flooring business like no one else. They can help you so that you don't buy too much. You buy just what you end up needing. It's just a great business. Why do people go to the big store? Well, it's the experience, it's the knowledge, it's the price, it's the inventory. Insera's Flooring Outlet, River Road, Marcy, and InserasFlooringOutlet.com. It's almost like the music came right into almost church-like. I thought
we were going to get an update from the Pope.
I thought so, too. Wow. All right, it's time for Habaika's free money question of the day. Tim is in New York Mills. Hello, Tim. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill.
Are you ready for this?
Yes, sir.
Are you a sports fan?
Yes, I am.
All right. You like baseball? Who's your baseball team?
I like the Mets.
Me too, yeah. I like to put myself through misery. I like the Mets. All right. I'm going to give you a scenario, and then you're going to have 7 seconds to answer the question, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. I'm going to ask you. You're going to love this.
Okay.
Here's the scenario. Runners on first and third, one out. What happens is there's a ground ball, a force at second, which is out number 2. Instead of going to first, the fielder tags a runner off base for out number 3. The runner from third scores before the tag. Does that run count? Ready, go.
Yes.
You're saying the run counts. Manaski?
Yep.
I don't. You confuse me with this runner off base thing.
He beat the throw.
He beat the throw. So here it is. Runners on first and third, one out. Ground ball, force at second. That's out number 2. Mm-hmm. Instead of going to first, the fielder tags a runner off base for out number 3. The runner from third scored before the tag. Does the run count?
Yeah, as long as it's not a force.
It's not a force, and the run counts! That's right, Manaski. Tim and New York Mills did not hesitate. The run counts. That's one of the only scenarios where the run would count, right? For the most part, if it's a force, the run would not count scoring.
Correct.
There. Okay, Tim, you knew it right away. Obviously, you played Little League, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right, $185.
And as an umpire, I'll say, well, two things. The Mets in a second. As an umpire, we call that the timing play. And it's something that all umpires on the field need to be aware of for the purposes of tracking whether or not the run scores before the third out is recorded, so long as it's not a force.
Okay. And did you see, I don't know if you noticed, Tim, did you see how Jeff was very careful? He doesn't want to make a mistake. He's got two coaches. There's you, there's me, there's other people in the studio, just like an umpire.
Most umps do.
Most umps do a great job. All right, Tim.
I don't know if that's what he meant.
I don't know either. Tim, you stand by. Davey's going to hook you up. $185. Nice job.
Thank you, Bill. Have a good week. Or have a good week.
You do the same. Manaski, and then we have...
So quickly here, Joe in Whitesboro. Bill, when do you figure the Mets season will be over? Mother's Day or Father's Day?
That's a really good question, and usually it doesn't happen. It's not official until the All-Star break.
Larry on YouTube says Mets should sweep the Dodgers this series. LMAO. And John in Deerfield, NIL has really ruined college athletics. Bigger schools are buying championships, waiting for this to hit Pioneer hockey. As an alumni, it sickens me with the possibility that their first national championship will end up being bought.
Well, is it bought? You're getting it. I don't know how to answer that. However, I think it's coming. Right? I mean, you're saying you're working with somebody right now who's putting this together, NIL together for Utica College.
Yeah,
or Utica University.
Good friend Dominic.
Maybe we lost her. What happened? At 7:45. Okay.
Dominic Tripp, best friend, former player, is starting the NIL program, and myself and my friend from UConn.
Will that be? That will not. So who's the general manager at Utica University? Is there one?
I don't know that Utica has one. I think Blaze will coach Fagiano.
Okay. So this is only for football.
This is specifically for football only.
All right. So Gary Heenan would have to put something together for
himself.
For hockey.
Unless the athletic department wanted to do it.
I mean, I remember stories from years ago where there would be players, you'd lose a player because they couldn't afford a good player, but they couldn't afford to stay in college, and there's nothing a coach could do to fix that.
Right.
Because of the NCAA rules. Today, that doesn't exist. Pretty wild, right?
Yeah, it is wild. And I almost wonder at what point this becomes like pro sports.
It is pro sports, Jeff.
Well, in this regard, too, where, college used to be about instruction, development, and learning. You could have 19-year-old players making $9 million. The coach is making $2.4 million, and he looks and says, "You can't tell me what to do. I get paid 4 times what you get paid. I'm more important. I generate more money for this university than you do. So shut up, coach." And I think we see that in the NBA sometimes. And other sports too. I'm not picking on the NBA.
Potentially, this can be really bad. And how does it work if you're a player and the school says, our rules are you have to be at least showing up to classes and passing. You have to at least be passing, and because of that, you're not eligible to play. What do you do with that when you're a big money player?
There was a quarterback for one of the big football programs who hasn't taken a class in 2 years. It's his 6th year.
Okay.
In college.
Is that where we are now?
He hasn't taken a class in 2 years.
No, you technically have to still be eligible by taking 12 credits. Now, they can be online classes. They can be whatever. They cannot count towards your degree, especially if you're a 6-year senior and you're not interested in getting a master's. You're just taking class to take class. So a lot of them sign up for online classes, never leave their dorm room, and snooze through it, go to class, and go to practice.
Real quick here, Miami Hurricanes quarterback, this is who I was referring to, Carson Beck, caused a stir in January of this year by admitting he's not attended college classes in roughly 2 years, stating, "No class, I graduated 2 years ago. Despite this, he remains eligible for college football as a graduate transfer. earning high NIL pay.
So he doesn't have to take any classes.
While functioning essentially as a professional player. I think the key is
whether or not they
graduate
graduated.
transfer.
Yes.
Graduate transfer.
Yeah, so what happens is if you graduate in 4 years, the NCAA grants you a fifth year for free for doing that.
Or sometimes
you don't have to take classes for that.
You do, though. You technically have to take the class. You have to register for the class, whether you pass them or fail them.
Yeah, okay.
Or attend them.
Or attend them.
He says he hasn't attended in 2 years, but he might still be enrolled in it.
Well, I'm not sure I would brag about it.
It's a bad look.
Yeah, I don't think it's a really good look at all.
Yeah.
All right, Davey, I was unable to get your email. I didn't receive it. So what do we know about the Blake Lively story? Blake Lively is ruined in Hollywood over Justin Baldoni and the lawsuit. And we're going to speak with an attorney on this coming up. Do we know anything about this?
I don't follow this show. Or
I'm like falling to pieces
like
all of a sudden.
Allergic to something all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think it's Cully. Cully.
You know, I'm not big up on the celebrity gossip. My understanding is she claims there were several incidents where, I guess at a minimum, maybe her co-star was being inappropriate, but Hollywood is reacting negatively to her. She's filed suit. He's filed a countersuit claiming none of this is true. And I'll tell you the thing that really caught my attention on a separate note, but speaking of celeb gossip, have you seen Britney Spears was out doing some new video on her social media?
Oh, boy, that's a mess.
She was in a real skimpy outfit, which I didn't mind, to be honest.
Yeah.
But she's now checked herself into rehab. She was arrested for DUI last month, and apparently yesterday she checked into a rehab. A bizarre character.
A mess. All right, I'm going to move on, Davey, because I'm not getting her call, so I don't want to talk about it. I don't really even care about the story, to be honest with you. So
I think this was an odd 7:40.
Friday, I'm stalling for a guest, and I'm getting nowhere. Okay, let's move on. The Artemis II astronauts, we haven't talked about this at all.
No, not today.
They splashed down on Friday safely in the Pacific Ocean Friday evening, and I got to say, this mission seemed to be, with a few flaws that were corrected, it seemed to go as exactly the way it was supposed to go. Because if there is a problem, like the toilet, the astronauts on board are supposed to be able to fix it, or some things could be fixed from the ground. But all of that worked the way it was supposed to work. And then re-entry into the Earth atmosphere, and then the splashdown, everything went as planned.
Well, and I saw a headline this morning that they're working to determine the crew for the Artemis III. And I guess here's my thought. If you're one of these astronauts who went up this time, wouldn't you say, well, I want to go back and walk on it
Well,
this time?
I got to say that I would say you have the experience. We're going to send you guys back, right?
Right. I mean, I know
Not
you want
the
to,
case.
quote unquote, spread the love. So it's, 8 or 12 or 20 astronauts who are part of this program, not just 4. But I'm saying if I'm one of these Artemis II astronauts, I didn't do anything wrong. We brought it back with no dings, no dents.
No, that's right. No fender benders.
We weren't slamming on the brakes. We didn't smoke in the vehicle. Why can't we go back?
Here is the NASA communication when it actually splashed down, when it happened on Friday evening. Here's audio.
Splashdown, sending post-landing command now.
Splashdown confirmed.
Copy splashdown, waiting on VLDR.
From the pages of Jules Verne to a modern-day mission to the moon, a new chapter of the exploration of our celestial neighbor is complete. Integrity's astronauts back on Earth.
All right. And it was really perfect. The 10-day mission, it carried the crew of 4 further than any human had ever traveled from Earth. And it's almost like when a building is being built in like a city or New York City or wherever, they make it just high enough to be the tallest building in the world.
Right.
I feel like we went just far enough out, and then some, in order to make sure that we broke the record for the furthest trip. And we did, and accomplishment. It was a big
like
deal.
The Guinness World Record. He did 50 push-ups in 4 seconds. Obviously, that's an absurd number. I'm making it up. But then you see 2 years later, the guy did 52 push-ups in 4 seconds.
Yes.
And then 50. Yeah, so it's a slow walk.
I have people on YouTube saying, I see Cully is continuing to raise his hand, and you don't go to him. Why is that? I don't know. I just feel like not going to him right now. That's where I'm at. National Scrabble Day is today.
Harsh on him.
Do you like? Well, he's. I'm seeing him in my peripheral vision, and he's driving me nuts, putting his hand up. What do you have to? What insight do you have on NASA?
I was going to say that it also involved Captain Winston Scott, who was the first African American astronaut.
Yes, that is true.
That was on the mission.
But remember, you're here to observe today.
Oh, I know.
And if all of a sudden on this day you're right,
I won't bother you.
I'll go to you though.
Okay.
I will. Just let it be my decision. Okay. So that it fits. There is.
It's not the Steve Cully show.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, got it.
Because tomorrow you're not here, right?
Right.
Okay. There is a flow. There is some sort of a flow to the madness. Even though we run into like little hiccups, like we have a guest that's going to be talking. I'm working all on figuring out the Blake Lively story, and then all of a sudden we lose the guest. So I have to make that decision. What do I do? What do we go to next? You got to move on. And meanwhile, as I'm trying to figure that out, I got this going on. The hand going up for every topic.
I don't care about the rules around here.
National Scrabble Day, if you care. I do like the game. I think it's cool. How about our guy on Jeopardy won again on Friday night? He's the Asian American.
Jamie Ding.
He won again.
Was it close?
No. In fact, he's over. I think he's almost $700,000 after 21 victories.
Wow.
In Jeopardy. And I think it was before Final Jeopardy, it was like he had 18,800 and his closest opponent had 8,000. So there was no way that they could actually they could catch him.
So it's amazing to me how, because a lot of this has to be memory, right?
It's unbelievable how he has a mind that allows him to. You see him sitting there, and they ask the question, is he doesn't know this one, and he pauses, and then he comes up with the answer. So he's going deep into his, and he has all of these little tricks that he was explaining the other night, little things that he does to come up with an answer. It might be a rhyming thing. It might be it's all little tricks that he uses, but it's like the human calculator. How does the human calculator do that?
Yeah.
There's a system.
Find shortcuts in your brain.
There is a system. And then I thought this was kind of interesting, and I'll go with it before I break. The Baltimore Orioles had a unique performance of the national anthem on Saturday night.
I saw this.
You did see it. I was going to ask if you knew what it was. Here's where I'll go to you.
That's happy birthday, huh?
That's where I'll go to you. What was the unique way, Steve Cully, in which they performed the national anthem?
I have no idea.
Well, you should, because Manaski was just whistling.
The happy birthday.
The answer is whistle. He whistled the national anthem. It was done by four-time whistling champion and member of the Whistling Hall of Fame, Chris Ullman. What did you think of it before I play it?
I find it interesting. That's a cool bar trick, I think. But that's not how we should do the national anthem before a professional event.
From
you
the comments,
play some of it?
From the comments accompanying the MLB Instagram post, it does not seem some people respect his credit. There are a lot of his credits. A lot of people were very much against it.
What's next? This is different, but what if he can fart the anthem? We're going to have that too.
Well, I do think that whistling has had its place in many famous songs and music performances. So I guess it could be considered an instrument. It is an interesting debate.
To me, this is more of a novelty, like a trick, But anyway,
what about if they came in and it was like a guitar, like something that? That's different. You'd be okay.
I know
with that.
Whistling is in some songs an instrument, if you will, right? It's just my opinion. I think playing it on a guitar usually sounds beautiful and reverent.
Here is the
whistling. I don't know.
Here's the audio.
Am I supposed to take my hat off?
I think so. All right, I'm not going to play the rest of it.
Everybody can see my growing bald spot in favor of this parlor trick.
A lot of people liked it, but I think a lot more thought it was not.
It's a parlor
worthy.
trick. And did you notice how the pace of the song was up and down, up and down, up and down?
Well,
like it was quick, then he slowed it down, then it was quick.
Otis Redding's sitting on the dock of the bay is considered one of the great. Yep. Billy Joel's "The Stranger" considered another song that's and wasn't Mary Poppins. Maybe it was, I don't know. There's several songs from years ago where whistling, I think, back in the 30s and 40s was maybe bigger than it is today. But
Whistle
some people,
while you work?
Some people very much didn't like it. Quick break coming up the news.
Looking for a reliable ride without the brand new price tag? Then spring into savings at Steep Pawnee Chevrolet in Herkimer and explore our incredible lineup of Car Bravo certified pre-owned vehicles. Whether you're hitting the road for weekend getaways or just upgrading your daily drive, every Car Bravo vehicle is backed by a certified warranty and low financing options, so you can drive with total confidence. Right now, qualified buyers can take advantage of fresh spring offers, including 0% financing for 36 months or as low as 4.9% for 72 months. Plus, Car Bravo vehicles come with a 1-year, 12,000-mile warranty on over 30 different models from 13 different manufacturers. But don't wait. These spring savings won't last long. Together, let's drive to Steep Pawnee Chevrolet, where it's always easy to do business. Visit us on State Route 28 in Herkimer or online anytime at SteepPawneeChevy.com. Credit must qualify top tier through GM Financial. All taxes and fees due on delivery. Must take delivery by April 30th, 2026. See salesperson for details.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-727-9105. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105.
We're your neighbors, friends, and your family. We care about our community, your business, and most important, you.
We support charities like the United Way, McMahon Ryan Child Advocacy Center, who are the members of IBW Local 43 and NECA Contractors. You don't just see our work, you live it. From the JMA Wireless Dome, hospitals, schools, and city buildings, the IBEW is part of the community.
Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 and NECA will continue to help light, power, and grow Central New York.
Don't overpay for your next mattress. Mattress Express is upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer. Bring in any locally advertised price on a brand we carry. We will beat the price. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS or go to mattressexpressny.com.
Get pumped for summer and receive an instant rebate of up to $10,000 in clean heat air source heat pump installation. Call City Suburban today at 315-853.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 From the WB Tain Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
Iran is on deadline again.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. But unlike the one President Trump pulled back from threatening a bombardment, this one would impose a blockade in the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran refused to reopen fully to oil and other shipping last week.
Other nations are working so that Iran will not be able to sell oil, and that will be very effective.
The president talking to reporters last night, returning to Washington after weekend talks with Iran fizzled in Islamabad, where Fox's Lucas Tomlinson reports.
Vice President J.D. Vance offering what their officials are calling his final offer to the Iranians, which includes some red lines. That has been taken back to Tehran, and perhaps President Trump upping the ante, now saying he's going to put a blockade on Iranian ports in the Strait of Hormuz if they don't reach a deal. 10 a.m. Eastern, the U.S. Military Central Command says the blockade will be enforced impartially against vessels of all nations entering or departing Iranian ports.
Iran has responded that no port in the region will be safe. As a result, oil prices back up more than 7%. WTI back over $104 a barrel, leading stock futures lower on Wall Street. Now back to the president. He also ranted against Pope Leo on Truth Social and told reporters,
he's a man that doesn't believe in stopping crime. He's a man that doesn't think that we should be toying with a country that wants a nuclear weapons so they can blow up the world.
Pope Leo responded this morning before landing in Africa for an 11-day trip.
Too many people are suffering in the world today. Too many innocent people are being killed, and I think someone has to stand up.
Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell has dropped out of the governor's race in California.
The 45-year-old Democrat has been accused of sexual misconduct by 4 women. Allegations include one former staffer who says Swalwell sexually assaulted her on 2 occasions. Swalwell has repeatedly denied these claims.
That's Fox's Alex Hogan. And Swalwell, there are calls from Democrats and Republicans for him also to resign from Congress. America's listening to Fox News.
Now, this 25th anniversary of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation remains committed to honoring the heroes shaped by that day. Heroes like NYPD Detective Victor Vargas, a U.S. Air Force veteran who died from pancreatic cancer after serving in the World Trade Center recovery efforts. Tunnel to Towers honored Detective Vargas by paying off the family's mortgage. You can donate $11 a month, and you can amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
Life is full of challenges, but you don't have to face them alone. At InTouch.org, you'll find powerful sermons from Dr. Charles Stanley, daily devotionals, and resources designed to strengthen your faith and bring hope into everyday life. Whether you're searching for encouragement, biblical wisdom, or practical guidance, InTouch.org is here to help you grow closer to God. Discover truth that speaks to your heart. Visit InTouch.org today. That's InTouch.org. Thanks.
An ally of President Trump's in Europe has been voted out of office, Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban. And the House's Democratic leader in Washington, Hakeem Jeffries, posted on X, a far-right authoritarian is out. Trump sycophants and MAGA extremists in Congress are next in November.
A result with huge ramifications for Hungary, for Europe, and for Russia. Tens of thousands in Budapest celebrating the landslide election of Péter Magyar as Prime Minister, ending the Viktor Orban era.
I never thought this would actually happen. I've been praying for this for 16 years.
I think this nation woke up.
Hungary is free now! Yay!
The new Prime Minister wants to move Hungary away from Russian influence. He'll be a stronger supporter of Ukraine and the European Union. Magyar's election comes despite Vice President Vance campaigning for Viktor Orban last week. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
We mentioned a stock sell-off brewing. Dow futures are down almost 500 points. The family of a late police officer who died while on duty in Nassau County, New York, has gotten a big financial lifeline.
If that driver had killed 42-year-old officer Patricia Espinoza 35 minutes later, she would have been on duty and earned a full police pension. Instead, she was on her way to work when she died, and there's no pension for her family. That irony was not lost on a coalition representing hundreds of Long Island pizzerias. So they donated $5 for every pie sold on February 25th, raising $200,000 for the officer's family. Roger Stern, Fox News.
At Golf's Masters, a repeat for Rory McIlroy, winning at Augusta again, telling CBS.
Can't believe I waited 17 years to get one green jacket, and I get 2 in a row. It's just sort of the way. I don't know. I think all of my perseverance at this golf tournament over the years has really started to pay off.
McIlroy is the 4th golfer to win back-to-back Masters. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Cloudy skies, 53 degrees, looking for highs in the 70s today. Good morning, I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 8:05. This news update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. The United County Sheriff's Office continues to investigate a threat at Clinton Middle School. Now, the call came in approximately 1:42 on Saturday morning in the AM. Deputies began investigating, and due to the nature of the complaint, the Sheriff's Office Juvenile Aid Unit and the Criminal Investigation Unit were assigned. Officials say there is no ongoing threat to the public or students in the Clinton School District, but the investigation remains open, and an update will be provided at a later time. Utica police charging a 57-year-old city man with criminal possession of a weapon after responding to a shots fired incident that occurred on the 1400 block of Oneida Street. It happened around 9:15 on Sunday morning. They positively identified the suspect, 57-year-old Joseph Fields. He's now charged with multiple counts of criminal possession of a weapon, attempted assault, and reckless endangerment. An Ilion firefighter and paramedic was killed in a one-vehicle crash on Friday night in Richfield. State police say it happened on County Highway 22. They determined that 29-year-old Ashley Faubert of Ilion, who had worked for the Ilion Fire Department since 2003, was traveling south on 22. Her vehicle left the roadway and she struck a tree. Faubert was taken to Bassett Healthcare in Cooperstown, where she was later pronounced dead.
Terrible story.
New Hartford police teaming up with loss surveillance. An investigation determined that a male suspect entered the Lowe's on Middle Settlement Road multiple times between March 18th and March 24th. They reviewed surveillance footage and say the total value of the item stolen was over $1,100. Now, police have charged 3 people, William Miller of New Hartford with grand larceny, Warren Jones of New Hartford with petty larceny, and Lauren Lopez of Utica with criminal possession of stolen property. Police also say they will continue to collaborate with regional loss prevention partners to address all forms of retail theft, particularly coordinated organized theft rings and illegal pawn operations. And a reminder again about ticks. It is that time of year. Unfortunately, once we get to the nice weather, we have to worry about things like this. Experts say tick encounters are already up 70% when compared to the same time last year. Tick bites can cause serious health issues for humans and pets. That includes Lyme disease. It's also recommended that pet owners make sure their four-legged friends are protected against ticks.
I think we all know this without reiterating it too much, but a tick bite that turns into Lyme disease can be life-threatening and just completely change a person's life for the bad. It can be mild, but there are cases out there that are so bad.
Yeah.
It's really terrible.
WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time is 8:09. Here's your Weather Center forecast.
Mild weather continuing to kick into the area with a few scattered showers around today, most of them coming as we push on through this morning and into the afternoon. So about lunchtime, give or take. Breezy and near 70 today. Tonight, a few showers around early, then cloudy mid-50s. North Country into the 40s. Tomorrow, some scattered showers, maybe a few thunderstorms. Some morning fog, 75. Showers and thunderstorms possible also on Wednesday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, we have cloudy skies and 55 degrees at 8:09. All right, in sports, Rory McIlroy gets back-to-back green jackets. He's now a 2-time champ at the Masters. He won it all last year and takes it again this year, shooting a 12 under. The 36-year-old, just the 4th player in Masters history to win back-to-back titles. Scotty Scheffler finished second at 11 under par. After action on Friday, Scheffler trailed by 12 strokes, made quite a run, but comes in as the runner-up. The NBA regular season wrapped up yesterday. The Knicks lost to the Hornets. The Knicks, though, have the 3rd spot in the East. They'll play Atlanta in the first round of the playoffs. The Nets were blown out by the Raptors in their season finale. The Nets with the 3rd worst record in the NBA. The draft lottery is coming up on May 10th. The Falcons making a decision on their best player. They've picked up Bijan Robinson's fifth-year option on Friday. Eagles acquiring Packers wide receiver Dontavion Wicks. I should say former Packers wide receiver Dontavion Wicks. ESPN says the pass catcher agreed to a one-year deal worth $12.5 million. Now, this deal helps solidify the receiver core for Philly if they decide to trade A.J. Brown. Major League Baseball, the Mets swept by the A's. In fact, they were shut out twice in the series, including 1-0 on Sunday. Freddie Peralta, the tough luck loser, he allowed just a solo home run, 4 hits and 3 walks. The Mets have lost 5 straight. So have the Yankees. They lost to the Rays on Sunday 5-4 in their series finale from Tropicana. As I say, the Yanks have dropped 5 straight. They host the Angels for the start of a 4-game series that begins tonight in the Bronx. You know what we haven't talked about? The rival of the Buffalo Bills, the heated rival.
Patriots?
Head coach Mike Vrabel and reporter Diana Rossini. Have you heard about this?
I have. And guess what? She's the one banned.
Yeah.
Because what are you going to do? But there was some sort of an affair going on?
Well, I don't know that it's that explicit. It certainly seems something was going on. There were photos of them at a very high-end getaway resort type place.
Here's the thing, though.
Interlocking hands.
Is there any...
hugging. They're both married.
They're both married. Well, I'm not saying that that's a good thing.
There's also a conflict. She is the New York Times NFL analyst or reporter.
Yeah.
What's the word I want to use?
Reporter. Wow.
Yeah.
What are you saying? Lead.
She's also thought to be like one of the higher up NFL insiders who gets all the information. And ironically, people are saying, how come Diana Rossini's the only person talking about the Patriots are going to trade for A.J. Brown?
Okay.
Nobody else has that story?
It's interesting that it's the Patriots that have banned her from the property.
Yeah.
Shouldn't the New York Times be like, hey, this is a conflict of interest right here?
It certainly is a conflict, yeah.
Apparently not.
Discrimination.
Well, it is another
female.
It's another case where the female gets and it's consensual. I understand they're married,
but hold on. What are they going to fire the coach and allow the reporter to stay?
I understand, but
if the coach won 3 games, he'd be fired.
Sure.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Sure.
It was. He had quite a year, right? Joe Lowe down the road. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning. How are you today?
Good.
I have to leave a little early nowadays because they closed the road, Stokes Westernville Road from Westernville to Lee Center because they're putting in a culvert pipe.
Okay.
Some kind of project over there. Could be months. It's a state job. So
could be. Could take a while. There's no doubt.
I have to actually take a detour all the way down to below the dam, cut across Golf Course Road, onto Elmer Hill, and then back on Turn Road. It's crazy. So listen, I was wondering if we have all these stories about the doom and gloom right now with the cost of everything rising, and I happened to see a commercial this weekend where the costs are going down on a certain item.
What are they going down on?
Well, Tony's Pizza in Washington Mills is running a hell of a special right now. I mean,
Frank must be really taking care of you because you never wait on the line. You waited for over 15 minutes.
Listen, I just thought it was a great deal. A large one-topping pizza. You get 2 dozen wings, a large antipasta, 5 garlic knots, and a 2-liter for $50 all in, tax included.
Wow. Well, I
mean, how do you beat that?
That is wonderful. Yeah, that's yeah.
Bill, a 2-liter of Pepsi these days is like $12, I think.
I don't think it's that much, but it's up there.
It seems like it.
It does. It does seem like it. Especially when you got to drive all the way past the culvert and go over by the dam and then down past the cow field in order to get to the store to get that 2-liter. For God's sakes, that costs you $20. Holy moly! All right, and I can't believe you haven't mentioned the buffet.
Well, I haven't been there for that yet, but I'm going to try it out. Everybody keeps talking about it.
Well,
and I see the photos.
That's probably how you're getting paid for this plug. All right, Joe. Say hi to Frank and have a great day. Thank you, man.
Have a good one.
All right. I do have to say, starting tomorrow, we have a chance for you to win tickets to Sebastian Maniscalco. And I've never seen him before. I will see this show on Saturday night.
Oh, boy.
And it's but the SNL impression
is so funny.
Is like spot on.
It is spot on.
So starting tomorrow, if you're interested in
that. Tickets. I got the tickets for the show.
Oh, my God.
That is so weird. I don't know.
Spot on.
I've never tried that before. That wasn't great.
That is a really good impression.
I went with it. Not one of my best.
Maniscalco, who Manansky is not necessarily a fan of, but does a pretty darn good impression of. We have tickets for that show coming up Saturday night in the event center at the Turning Stone.
We're giving away this week? You have tickets or the show has tickets?
I am giving away a pair of tickets.
Very cool.
No, Davey, not to you. We're going to give them away on the air. Unless you win. You may win. And I'll tell you tomorrow how you can win. But this is a hot show. They're expecting a sellout crowd in the event center on Saturday night at the Turning Stone.
He is a popular guy.
He is very, very popular right now.
Whether I find him funny or not.
And we have tickets coming up. Here is, it's Stefan. I couldn't think of a good one, so I'm just going to run with it. Stefan, good morning. You're on.
Well, hello, Bill, Jeff, and Davey, and Steve Cully.
Well, good morning, Stefan. Good morning.
Now, Saturday, I went to Donna Ray's event from Screaming Nurses at 12 North Sports Bar, and I got there by taking the bus to SUNY Poly and then walking from there.
Oh, you walked from SUNY Poly to 12 North. Wow.
Yeah, it's not that far. It's kind of right across the street.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Yeah.
And it was a fun event, and Donna helped and gave me a ride back home after they were done.
That was very nice of her. Well, it wasn't necessarily her event, but her band played at the event and raising money for the Rome Humane Society at 12 North on Saturday. Very nice.
Yeah, and I'm not happy because the Mets are in a slide right now.
Yeah,
they are playing terrible, and Lindor is one of the main guys that are not playing too good. I think he misses Juan Soto hitting behind him, and at the deadline, I think the Mets, Baltimore isn't going anywhere. I think the Mets need to make a trade for Alonso.
Oh, you mean the free agent they just let go?
To bring Alonso back?
Officially 8 games ago? 12 games ago?
DH.
Listen, I would love to see Alonso come back. I mean, if that's something that's even possible, what a crazy story that would be.
Baltimore's not trading him back.
But I think that you're building people don't understand these sports wizards who have all the money don't understand chemistry.
Culture.
It's a real problem, and this team doesn't have any of it right now. And I got to say, my opinion, I think if the things don't turn around, you'll see a managerial change.
Do you know there was we talk about that chemistry. There was some political fallout with, I believe it was over support of Trump.
It was what's his name?
Lindor and Soto versus
McNeil
and Brandon Nimmo.
So McNeil,
supposedly there was.
I didn't know that it was necessarily Nimmo, but I think it is Nimmo too. They were pro-Trump, and Lindor and Soto hate Trump, and supposedly they were going back. You talk about Thanksgiving dinner. It was like that. They were fighting in the clubhouse over Trump's policies, and certainly over immigration.
And I believe there was also a baby shower where either McNeil's wife or Nimmo's wife no-showed or got uninvited because of this silly riff. So there was some fracture, certainly in the clubhouse. That's not a good thing for any clubhouse. But
Losing
Getting
is not a
swept
good
by
thing
the
either.
A's is also not a good thing for any clubhouse.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Stephen. Thanks, man. Go Mets.
And my friend Joe Pacini says, if you want to see real baseball, watch the Braves.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
That's cool. I thought you were going to say the Yankees, and I'm like, well, they've lost 5 in a row, too.
I'm deleting Joe Pacini's phone number.
You're the man, Stephen.
Joe's done. All right, Stephen. Thanks, man. Thank you.
Bye, Bill.
Robin Haberman is the Senior Associate State Director of New York's AARP. And Robin, good morning. Thanks for coming on.
Good morning. How's everyone doing today?
Well, I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm getting sick of your mailers coming to my house.
Okay, that's fair.
I am not old enough to be getting this. This is just
Listen,
pissing me
you can
off.
become a member at any age, and you can start taking advantage of those benefits. So there's no downside.
Well, you know what you've done, though, is you've gotten my wife to be like, well, you are 61. I think that maybe we could start. Maybe we could start getting this discount. The last person that told me I could have a discount, I said, no, I want to pay the extra 10%. I'm not old enough for that.
That's just silly.
Yeah. Well, that's what she says, my wife. So, anyway, I'm glad you tolerated my little rant. Thank you. But we are talking about something that I think is a big deal. And I'm telling you, the seniors are the target of all of these fraud, and they're so good. Some of these are so good. It's easy for us to sit and say, well, how could they fall for that? But they're done so well. Talk about that and the amount that it's costing people in the country, but in particular, elderly people.
Oh, my gosh, so much. So, yeah, the first thing I will say, yes, it is something that affects everyone, regardless of how old you are. The problem for older adults is that they have more to lose, right? We're talking about our life savings, our retirement savings. So there's just so much more damage it can do as later in life. But the first thing I want to tell you is that overconfidence about spotting scams can actually increase your risk. As you're saying, like, how can other people fall for that?
Right.
As fraud schemes become more sophisticated, including AI and all of that, sometimes you think you can spot a scam a mile away, and you might be the first person to fall for it because you think you know everything, and then they find a way to get you.
It's very interesting you bring that up because a couple of years ago, we fell for one, and I consider myself really good at this. And in fact, we're tested at work. We have to go through all of these online courses, but on top of it, I feel like but this one was so good. And it included my son with student loans. And the way this one worked out, and I think this was brilliant, is my son had the call first, and they basically hooked him. And once they hooked him, now he's asking me for a bank account.
Parenting drive.
Yeah.
Now you're in parenting mode.
And it completely, they took money out of our account, and we handed our checking account information over to him. And so it can happen to anybody. Some of these are so very good.
It's true. And, you asked about the numbers. We did a survey recently called The Fraud Crisis in America. We found that 38% of U.S. adults have experienced fraud, including stolen money or misuse of personal information.
Yeah.
87% of Americans now say fraud can happen to anyone. It's no longer someone else's problem like we like to think it is. And concern is really widespread. 159 million adults worry about it, rating it 7 out of 10 on average. So we really need to be careful. We need to be vigilant. Nobody likes to live in fear, but we do need to be suspicious of any incoming communications that we didn't ask for. We can't automatically trust those. That means maybe we only answer the phone from phone numbers that we recognize, right? You can even set your phone to send any unknown numbers to voicemail, and then you're not picking up the phone. You're not getting that call making you feel like you're in the middle of a crisis, and you can take a minute and you can stop and you can think and figure out whether this is really something that is real or it's something that is trying to.
Can I also say that, and I don't know how accurate it is, but I've used it a couple of times where you can use an AI platform. I use ChatGPT, and you put the scenario in and say, "Is this a scam?" And it's amazing how it came right back scam and had examples? Because it can search. It searches the entire web. It might be something to look into. That really, I found, has worked for people. And listen, when you're an older person and you're trying to reach someone to say, should I accept this or not accept it? The answer should be don't accept it. But to be able to utilize some element of artificial intelligence to guide you is not such a bad thing. I think
we found
it. We also have real people who can help you navigate that. We have the Fraud Watch Network helpline that anyone can access. You don't need to be an AARP member. And we have trained specialists on the line say, hey, I got this call and I don't know if it's real or not, and they can guide you through
that.
That's
really good, yeah.
If you have already been the victim of a scam, they can walk you through next steps and what you should do. We have support sessions for people who have been victims of fraud so they can get the support on that emotional impact. So the Fraud Watch Network helpline, if anyone is at home and has a pen handy, definitely write down this phone number. It's 877-908-3360. That's 877-908-3360. And if you don't have a pen handy to write it down, you can always just pop it into your internet browser, AARP Fraud Watch Network helpline, and you should be able to find that information pretty quickly. But they know what they're talking about, and they can help you or you're uncomfortable and something in your gut is just telling you maybe this sounds too good to be true, or maybe I shouldn't be paying my bank in gift cards, or maybe I shouldn't be sending crypto to my credit card company. All of these things, you can just talk to a real person who
I would say
can help walk you through
I would
it.
say the real person versus AI, better. I would think that'd be much better.
Always better.
Yep.
Some of those examples, I think, are the ones that we fall into the category of, well, duh, I can't pay my credit card company in what is it? Minecraft gift cards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some of them are obvious, right? It's
Right.
like-
Some of them are obvious, but I do have to tell you, I fell for this last summer. Not the Minecraft gift card, but I received a call. We're in the 315 area code. It was 315. And I received a call. Now, the first, I hate to say it this way, but the first.
If I could just say, you can no longer trust your phone numbers anymore.
Right.
Just because it looks like it's local, it is not.
Wait till you hear this.
It might not be.
Now, the first giveaway, and I hate to say it this way, but it was a very thick accent. But anyway, it was disguised as a, hi, Jeff, I'm calling from Fraud Services. Did you just authorize a payment on, it was like $2,000 for some product in California. So I feel like they're alerting me to fraud. Long story short, and I started to get suspicious when he was questioning the 3-digit code on the back, and can you verify this? And I said, look, this just doesn't sound right to me. And he said, Jeff, take out your credit card. And I did. He said, turn it over. He said, you see that number on the bottom? And he goes, look, doesn't that match the number I'm calling from? It was the exact same number to my credit union.
That's really good.
So long story short, after I blurted out some of the info, the next morning I immediately called, had the card canceled, and got a replacement.
Good for you.
But it's like so... like I said,
getting
the
more
very
and more
thick foreign accent
Yeah.
was a red flag to me. But then when it says, it literally, I'll name the institution, it said GPO Federal Credit Union on the incoming ID.
Right.
And it wasn't. And the number matched exactly. They're very sophisticated. So I think even people who know the tricks of the trade can fall for this stuff too.
Yeah. Always, if it's not something you requested, if it's not someone you reached out to, you can just hang up and just call the number on your card. It's not going to go back to them. It will go to your real bank. Is that with that sophistication, one of the things they are doing is, you get a call from your bank and then you Google My Bank customer service. They can actually get a phony number up on the internet really quick. So you want to be sure you log into your actual account or check your actual back of your card for that phone number and not just trust the search engine and the first number that pops up. That's a new one that we're seeing a lot more of.
Listen, I had somebody called me, and the ID was my number.
Oh, yeah, I've had that happen before too.
Yeah, so
I also got my phone number. Yeah.
So that makes you curious but suspicious. Clearly, they're able to put in whatever number they want to make it look like you're getting calls from somebody local. That makes it just more difficult And by the way, on the deal with my son, here's another thing that I think people should be careful of, and maybe you can talk about this, Robin. In the case of my son, when he called for student loan services, he found the number by Googling it, and they made it look like it was a government number, but it was not. And so he was already in trouble the minute he made the phone call, because he called them and he thought it was real. And then by the time I got to me, we thought it was all real. So you do have to be careful when Googling also. You got to make sure you're dealing with a legitimate number. And sometimes, boy, this is just so hard. And it's hard now. How hard is it going to get in 5 years? It's going to get worse.
Well,
just don't answer the phone.
That's one of the things AARP is doing. We're always watching, right? We are always keeping an eye on the latest trends in scams, because things come in waves, right? There's always something new. People can actually get monthly text alerts about what scams are kind of happening currently. They can sign up for those. Can always check our website, which is aarp.org/NYStopScams, because we're posting what's new, what's happening. We do workshops. We're hosting shredding events at various places in the state so people can shred their documents. It's another thing. If something has your personal information on it, you don't want to just throw it in the recycling bin. You want to make sure it gets shredded so that people can't just take that information and try to assume your identity and do some financial mishap in your name that you are then stuck for.
Can I give you one more little piece of something that happened to us? Because when you think about you're shredding your documents, or you're coloring over it, and chances are they could see it anyway. Who is going to go through your garbage, really? Who's going to go looking through all of that? Well, let me tell you, we had a knock on the door. This had to be 8 or 10 years ago, from state police, and they had a bag of our garbage that had been thrown out on a country road, where someone took it right out of our garbage bin, and our address and information was there. And
Gotta get a shredder.
Gotta shred.
Does AARP, that's actually, I don't know if you're into the merchandising with AARP, but you guys ought to make like a shredder. You ought to have an AARP branded shredder out there.
Yeah, I don't know if we do or not. I don't think we do, but I can definitely float that idea up to the powers that be. The other thing I will tell you all that's really important and a really easy way to keep yourself safe is freeze your credit. Contact your the credit agencies like Experian. Just put a freeze on your credit so that if someone tries to open an account in your name, they won't be able to. You can always unfreeze it if you're like going for a new mortgage or a car loan or whatever. But freeze your credit so that nobody can do something in your name that you're not aware of. If you have children under the age of 18, I just did this for my children, freeze their credit too, so that when they get into adulthood, they don't already have some mysterious debt on their name. It's a really easy way to prevent certain fraud.
How do you feel? How do you feel about services like LifeLock? And I know they're a little costly, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I have a strong opinion. I think AARP does have a relationship with LifeLock. Always good to find a measure that you're comfortable with, but the most important thing is really just being vigilant. Keep your passwords to yourself, make them complex so nobody can tease them out. Enable two-factor authentication if you have access to that. A lot of banks and credit card agencies are requiring that now, so you need your phone and your password to log into your account. Simple things like that can make a really big difference because it just prevents people from accessing your information and your account.
They're annoying. They're time-consuming somewhat, but nothing is more time-consuming than having to cancel your account or having money taken out of your account. And then, think of all the things that might draw off your account monthly. You got to go back and redo all of that. I understand. But, boy, doing those little extra things like a longer password, unique passwords, those can be very important. So,
yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Interesting stuff. We do appreciate it. And I love the fraud line. 877.
I'll give that number.
Go ahead, you give it.
So if anyone's just tuning in, if you ever are not sure if something you've encountered is a scam or not, or if you think you've been the victim of a scam or fraud, you can always call the Fraud Watch Network helpline. You will talk to a real person who's trained to help you figure out what to do next. And that phone number is 877-908-3360, 877-908-3360.
All right. Good stuff.
Okay.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right. Be vigilant. Have a great day. Thank
All right.
you.
You do the same. I probably shouldn't have started out by yelling at her, right? But it's so offensive. But listen, you don't have to be. You could be 40 years old and join AARP. Get their magazine and all of that stuff. And I think that helpline is a big deal.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, if it's your bank, like we know the rules. You can still get. If they catch you at the right time where you're busy or you're frustrated.
I was traveling to a game, actually.
Yeah.
I'm like worried about the time. Why am I getting this call? Oh, there's a illegitimate purchase on my account. You're half listening. You're doing something else.
That's when they get you. But what you really could do is just, if it's your bank calling, just say, hey, let me call you right back. And call them. And they'll say, we have no record of this. Or maybe they do. Maybe it was a legitimate call. But that fraud number is 877-908-3360. That's probably the best way if you're curious about something where you could get some help. The other thing is, this Saturday, Senator Griffo is doing his recycling event. So you're going to get, you can get documents shredded. You can get rid of electronics. You can get rid of, anything you want to recycle that you can't put in your regular garbage. It happens. Is this going to be over at the New Hartford Shopping Center? No, it's at the recycling center this time.
Yes.
So down off North Genesee Street, it'll happen. And I spoke to Joe about this yesterday, and he said, don't worry about long lines. They've really gotten it down to where people, you move right through really quickly.
Yep.
But that is this Saturday at the recycling center in Utica, North Genesee Street, off North Genesee.
Off Leland Ave, 10 o'clock. And they do a phenomenal job. I mean, I've done it the last couple of years, and I was even on his mailer flyer a couple of years ago.
Yeah, Davey was there and ended up in a direct mail piece. It was
I remember that.
Yeah, something to be seen. All right. I
was just going to say, coming up, I got more on this Diana Rossini thing. There's a wrinkle in here I want your take on. Number 2, I want to talk about equal charges for equal crimes. And then I have a third one about a musical performance locally that was kind of interesting, and we'll talk about it.
Interesting and worth talking about.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Before that, Manaski does news coming right up at WIBX.
The Stanley Theater welcomes comedian, podcaster, and actor Jim Breuer and his Find the Funny Tour. Join us Saturday, April 26th at 8 p.m. as Breuer brings his high-energy comedy, sharp wit, and hilarious takes on everyday family life to the Stanley stage. Known for his relatable storytelling and big laughs, Jim Breuer delivers a night of comedy audiences absolutely love. Don't miss Jim Breuer live at the Stanley Theater in Utica. Get your tickets now at the Stanley box office or online at thestanley.org.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Service, family owned and operated since 1980. Tallman's is proud to provide trusted, professional auto care to our community. From brake repairs and New York State inspections to check engine light diagnostic to four-wheel alignments, Tallman's Tire and Auto Service accept all aftermarket warranties, and they specialize in fleet vehicles, accepting all fleet maintenance programs. When your vehicle needs attention, you can count on them to get you back on the road quickly and safely. Save time and money. Schedule your appointment today at tallmanstire.com.
You know that Chick-fil-A sells more than chicken, right?
Hello, my name is Jaleesa, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit is how it's all of my favorite breakfast items in one good bite. That fluffy egg, that melty cheese with that perfectly grilled sausage. It just gives you that warmth, that comfort food that you love. It is the best possible option for a classic breakfast.
Comfort is calling. Order a Chick-fil-A sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit with Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
Advantage Gold, America's #1 precious metals company, is sounding the alarm that a storm is coming and that now is the time to diversify your portfolio before it's too late. That's why we're offering an emergency gold and silver protection kit valued at $49, absolutely free for anyone who calls today at 800-900-8000. This kit includes critical information for investors with a retirement account seeking to own physical gold and silver but want to do it tax and penalty free. Advantage Advantage Gold has helped investors protect and secure their wealth with physical gold and silver since 2014. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000 and we'll rush your emergency gold and silver kit plus a free copy of Ken Rogoff's book, Our Dollar, Your Problem. See how gold and silver can help you protect and secure your wealth with the help of Advantage Gold. Results vary. Consult your tax advisor before investing. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
Get pumped for summer. Receive an instant rebate of up to $20,000 in clean heat ground source heat pump installation. Call City Suburban today, 315-853-3899 or online at citysuburban.com. That's citysuburban.com.
Hey, it's your radio buddy Jimmy Fallon, host of Fox Across America. We're talking politics, pop culture, and comedy, minus all the rage and finger-pointing. It's real talk for real people who just want to laugh, think, maybe learn something along the way. So join the fun weekdays at noon right here on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, Central New York's home for talk that's smart, honest, and just the right amount of crazy. Fox Across America with your main man, Jimmy Fallon.
Cloudy skies, 56 degrees. Good morning, I'm Jeff Manaske. President Trump says the 2-week ceasefire with Iran is, quote, holding well, end quote, even as the U.S. prepares to blockade the Strait of Hormuz. The decision follows failed peace negotiations in Pakistan over the weekend that were led by Vice President J.D. Vance. In his Sunday post, the president said the U.S. Navy will begin the process of blockading any and all ships trying to enter or leave the strait. He called the current situation, with some ships able to pay a toll to Iran to pass through, world extortion. Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell suspending his campaign for governor of California. He took to X on Sunday to say he was deeply sorry for mistakes in judgment that he has made in the past, adding that he will fight what he calls serious false allegations that have been made. The move comes after a former staffer said she was raped by Swalwell. The first week of Coachella in 2026 is in the books. The annual Music and Arts Festival saw Sabrina Carpenter headline the opening night. Saturday marked Justin Bieber's debut as a Coachella headliner, and Sunday night was Karol G's turn to take the stage for her headlining performance. And less than 10 days ago, news broke that Doc Rivers was going to be inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. Yesterday, news broke that Doc Rivers was fired as the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. ESPN broke the story Sunday, citing sources who say Rivers may stay on with the organization in an advisory role next year, but he's out as the coach. Cloudy skies, 56 degrees at 8:43.
Mild weather continuing to kick into the area with a few scattered showers around today, most of them coming as we push on through this morning and into the afternoon. So about lunchtime, give or take. Breezy and near 70 today. Tonight, a few showers around early, then cloudy mid-50s. North Country into the 40s. Tomorrow, some scattered showers, maybe a few thunderstorms. Some morning fog, 75. Showers and thunderstorms possible also on Wednesday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
See any shadows out there, so no sun, just clouds at 56.
It could be one of those. This is probably going to be the worst of all of the week, right? It's going to warm up after today significantly, and I think by the end of the week, you're right. You called green grass, maybe.
I think a lot of people are going to be mowing by the end of the week.
Might even have to mow. We'll wrap it up here. We got a bunch of stuff to get to. If you have a situation where in the winter you felt like your windows needed an upgrade, the time is now. Their trade-in and upgrade event is going on at New York Sash. For every old window they replace, you get a $100 instant trade-in credit towards new energy-efficient windows. The money goes to the homeowner. It's a simple way to turn those drafty windows into real savings. Spring is the perfect time to start a new project. Homeowners can walk in, see the options up close, get designs, get ideas, work with a team that helps every step of the way. And if it's budget that's a concern for you, New York Sash offers flexible financing options to help make those upgrades happen now and not later. But don't wait. It's a limited time offer with contracts needing to be signed by the end of the month. Stop in, get inspired, and take advantage of the savings. Visit New York Sash at 349 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro or online at newyorksash.com. And the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills, the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic. They are accepting new patients. This week I'll be seeing Dr. Zielinski for the OMT, osteopathic manipulation treatment. Boy, that just opens everything up, and I can't wait to get there because post RSV, which is what I had 3 weeks ago, you still deal with the coughing and the still chest congestion. It doesn't go away. And some people say they dealt with it for 2 or 3 months afterwards. So having a procedure like this can help clear everything out. And boy, that can be incredibly helpful. And they're accepting new patients now. Dr. Cheryl Mattern has joined the Falcon Clinic. Dr. Mattern is accepting new patients and can get you in pretty quickly. So if you have a retiring physician, you need a new primary doctor, whether it's Dr. Mattern, Dr. Zielinski, Dr. Shemaleski, they all have you covered. Dr. Kosminski for acupuncture. It's the Osteopathic Medical Clinic, the Falcon Clinic. But it's so much more than that. And call today. Schedule an appointment. 315-507-4751.
Warner Sales and Service. Building relationships, building trust.
This is Lynn from Warner Sales and Service. Mow like a pro with Hustler Turf Zero-Turn Mowers. Hustler mowers are designed to be maintenance and service friendly for the everyday homeowner while not sacrificing the build and cut quality they're known for. Come see us at Warner Sales and Service on the Greenway New London Road in Rome, and we'll guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget.
Are you sick of being just a number or doing a mindless job? Become a craftsman in a trade. Become an IBEW electrician. The IBEW and the Electrician Training Alliance will give you all the tools necessary at their state-of-the-art training facility. Earn as you learn. Paid training while you get your certification. What are you waiting for? Become an IBEW Local 43 electrician. Call or go online today to learn more. Find your career at IBEW and let the Electrician Training Alliance light up your future.
Don't miss Clinton Tractor Spring Sales Event, April 16th through the 18th. We're giving you the best deals of the season on all of our inventory. Thousands of used and new equipment in stock, all in one location. Get 0% financing on new Ferris commercial mowers, Massey Ferguson, and New Holland equipment, and trailers and used equipment as low as 5.49%. Restrictions apply. It's Clinton Tractor Spring Sales Event, April 16th through the 18th. ClintonTractor.net.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She could get a deal. Book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, it saved time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Hello, everyone in Central New York. This is Dave Letterman, your old TV pal. Remember me? I'm supposed to say something witty and funny here about Bill Keeler, but I've got nothing. Ever see a picture of this guy? That's a joke in itself. Anyhow, here's Keeler on WIBX.
All right, I'm going to ask you, what do you have? Some interesting stories out there we're following this morning.
I wanted to follow up on the Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel situation.
So that is the head coach of the New England Patriots, who she's married, a reporter with the New York Times, and a high-up NFL reporter.
Very high
right,
up.
with a lot of information, a lot of insight. And, of course, Vrabel is the head coach of the Patriots. Both, by the way, are married. What do you have?
Well, I just thought it was interesting to throw this out there, and I don't know whether or not it's true. And ultimately, the statement that was made was recanted by the person who said it. But back in 2015, Jessica McCloughan, I believe is how it's pronounced, she's the wife of then Washington general manager Scott McCloughan. had come out on social media and accused Diana Rossini of trading sexual favors to her husband in exchange for, yeah, who are you going to trade for? Are you going to trade up in the draft? Stuff like that. However, McClellan, shortly after, came out and said that her remarks were unfounded and inappropriate and publicly apologized. No, she didn't apologize. Yes, she apologized. So maybe that's not fair to bring up. I'm just saying that's out there as well. Whether or not that's true, I clearly have no idea.
But as for something going on between Vrabel and her, it looks like the pictures are showing them somewhat romantically together.
Yes.
In a place where you would be romantic.
Yes.
Right? So,
and in fact, in defense, I think it was Vrabel came out and said, no, we were with 6 other people on that rooftop. And then there's a wide shot of that photo, and there's nobody else on it.
Okay.
It's clear.
Story number 2.
Yes. We have here, and several people have reported on this, there is a teacher, I believe in Miami, who is charged with, she's accused of having a sexual relationship with one of her students. She's a math teacher. This story does not...
It happens in Florida so often.
Cocoa Beach.
Are you noticing it? Whenever there's one of these stories, it happens everywhere. But it does seem to happen more in Florida. I don't know why.
It looks like...
She's 37, and he was a junior.
Yeah. So he's a minor, and she's charged with 5 counts of, I don't know...
lewd and insidious in conduct by an authority figure, and 5 counts of unlawful sexual activity with a minor.
Why do we not look at this as being horrific?
If it was switched around, it would be opposite.
Right.
Yeah.
If it's switched around and it's a male teacher and a young female, people go nuts. But when it's a 37-year-old, which is a little older than normal, a lot of times it's like a 27-year-old, but a 37-year-old and a male student, people look at it differently.
I want to know where the charge of rape is. It's missing from the list of charges, right?
So they had sexual intercourse?
It should be statutory rape.
Allegedly.
I don't know what the
age
right,
at a minimum, statutory rape.
I don't know what the age of
why
consent is in Florida.
That's not included. I don't even know if that unlawfully
How old was the boy? How old was the boy?
It said he was a junior.
I think he was 16.
Doesn't say.
I think he was 16.
16 may not. I don't know what the age is in Florida.
Well, but the charge says minor. The charge says unlawfully engaging in sexual acts with a minor.
Well, any teacher that's having sex with a student in high school, it should be certainly fireable.
Regardless of gender.
But in New York, if he's 17, he is technically of legal age for a relationship.
Right.
Or she would.
Right. As long as she doesn't have him as a teacher, so the power dynamic is
right.
there.
I mean that becomes
that's where it gets dicey.
Fireable. So, and what is your point? You're saying that
where's the charge of rape?
Right. And if it was a female, you think there would have been a charge of rape.
I think if it was a 37-year-old male teacher and a 16-year-old student in his math class.
I don't know why we look at things differently, but we do.
Is that even a felony, that charge? I don't even know if that charge that she's got is a felony.
No. I believe they're all misdemeanors.
Story number 3.
Story number 3. John
By the way,
Wick.
Cully is not an attorney.
No, I got my law degree on Twitter.
But his father is one.
Bill.
Okay.
Andrew Dominio. Good morning, buddy. Messaging in. He says, it wouldn't be New England without a scandal.
He's very
New England without a
well,
scandal.
there's been a lot of that, right? Were they in Florida, by the way? Was that where it was? Because they were in Florida. No. I'm talking about
Arizona. It was Arizona.
That was Arizona because that's where Kraft was. He was in Florida with his massage parlor thing.
And then the other thing is, I just want to get to a comment on YouTube. This is from Ja Wick. We're getting complaints that we're not reading enough of the YouTube comments.
I didn't get to them today. It seems like they're talking amongst themselves, so I'm sorry.
One I want to share, though, I guess it's a question and a follow-up. Ja Wick, when we were talking about ticks, said that he's got some poison or something that he puts along his fence line and near his piles of wood that keep the ticks away. Now, I read recently, and I'm trying to get my hands on this stuff, that lemon eucalyptus.
Interesting.
Okay.
Ticks hate that. They run from it. They don't like it. So if that's a tip that's helpful.
Are you
and
spreading lemon? Where would you get lemon eucalyptus?
It's a great question. You can order it online, but I don't think it's as harmful as like DEET.
Right.
For instance, is why I bring it up.
Well, listen,
the
tick thing can be bad. If you have deer in your in your backyard or wherever, there's a good chance that you're dealing with ticks that could very well be the ones that spread Lyme disease.
Second thing, my dog is actually testing has confirmed she's been exposed to Lyme disease. And to follow up, Ja, what kind of poison do you use? I'm just curious. What would you use that you claim works to keep ticks away? Because I got a dog and a kid.
Let us know on YouTube, and we'll convey it tomorrow because we do have to go. I want to tell you about River Hills Properties. Davey, I'm going to move things around a little bit. I'm sorry. I know. I apologize. River Hills Properties is the fastest growing real estate company in upstate New York, and they're growing even further to Westchester County, even to the southwest coast of Florida. We're talking about Sarasota, Naples, Marco Island, some of those beautiful parts in the world, as well as some of the most beautiful parts in the country. It's beautiful. River Hills has a full team of agents ready to take care of you for down there as well. Maybe you're going to explore the snowbird concept where you live up here during the nice weather and down there during the wintertime. Something to consider. And how much is your house worth? River Hills can help. You know, it's extra services, all the things that they do make your life easier when selling a home. And that is a big deal. With offices in Barneveld, Little Falls, Utica, Copenhagen, in Newport, in Rome, and the list goes on. It's River Hills Properties, 315-896-1009.
We all like convenience, right? ATMs, takeout food, drive-through pharmacies. Now, Bremer's is making it just as convenient to enjoy your favorite wines and spirits with Bremer's to go. It's simple. Place your order at bremerswineandliquor.com or save $5 on your first order with our mobile app. Order during store hours for pickup within an hour. Hey, you can even call us when you get to the store and we'll bring your order right out and load it in the car for you. Now that's convenience. Maybe you're planning a party. Maybe you want to stock up on your favorite wines, or you just want to save time when you're out and about. Whatever the reason, at Bremer's, we're all about incredible customer service. So when you're on the go, we are too. Order at bremerswineandliquor.com or save $5 with our mobile app. Order during store hours for pickup within an hour. It's Bremer's to go, available 7 days a week from Bremer's Wine and Liquor on Commercial Drive in New Hartford.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar, 315-444-4444.
Don't rely on a standard off-the-shelf security system. When it comes to protecting your home, there's a big difference between plug and play and a professionally designed system. At CML Security, security is personal. Their skilled technicians meet with you one-on-one, walk your property, and design a custom system built around your family's needs. From security cameras, intrusion systems, and smart home features, they can also add a level of fire protection to their intrusion systems. They install commercial-grade equipment and provide a warranty on systems that they install. Call CML Security at 315-866-5845 today to schedule your in-home consultation. That's 315-866-5845 or visit cmlsecurity.net. Based in Herkimer, they serve the central New York area. CML Security. Call 315-866-5845. Personalized protection your family can trust.
At Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield, we are dedicated to helping you understand your benefits and how to use them. It's one of the reasons why, for the third straight year, we have been named #1 in customer satisfaction among Medicare Advantage plans in New York and #1 for ease of doing business by J.D. Power. We were named most trusted, too. We remain committed to giving you high-quality coverage and the best possible Medicare experience. Learn more at medicare.excellusbcbs.com. For J.D. Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Service, family owned and operated since 1980. Tallman's is proud to provide trusted professional auto care